It's been a long time since I last played as Schalke. It was back in 2021 and we left them in a pretty good position. We saved them from relegation, finishing 9th in the Bundesliga, but a lot of things have changed since then. Julian Draxler isn't going to be our key player, Klaas-Jan Huntelaar isn't someone we're going to retire as, and Matondo isn't one of the biggest wonder kids in the world. This club has got worse and worse, but last year they finished 5th bottom of the 2nd division, a new low for Schalke. It's time to return to back where it all began. Let's fix the Royal Blues. Hello everyone and welcome back to a new series where we're going to try and build Schalke back up to the top. And this isn't going to be like most of my videos where I include a full season per video. Instead, I'll be playing 2 months of the season in each episode and editing it to be about as long as this one. Each season should be about 5 or 6 episodes long, and at the end of every season, I'm going to let channel members vote in a stream on which players we should sign for the next season. So, because we're going to go slower in this save, we really need to get to know our squad. Let's look at everything that's going on. Our most hyped youngster is this guy, Bullet. He has just signed a new contract, but there is still interest in him. If a top division club bids for him after the first window, I think we're probably going to accept that. Our star striker, Silla, also joined only 12 months ago, but he seems like he's going to be leaving us, and that's not the end of the world because we do need some transfer budget. We do have this young goalkeeper, Hikaren, but we have Karius as well, who's going to be our first choice. Karius is getting old, so we're probably going to loan out the younger keeper and hope he develops to become a first choice in the future. Merkin, Templeman and Seguin are all going to leave the club, while Drexler and Albertat have also retired. So that is a lot of activity, and we haven't even done anything yet. We're also going to need to fill some of the gaps that these players leaving are going to cause. Timo Becker is already joining us on a free, Sufan El Fawzi has joined up already, and we can probably get Timotheus Puchas cheap when his loan ends at Plymouth. Now is also a good time to talk about our manager, because we're not going to be role-playing them like I do in normal videos. Instead, we're going to be playing as the club. If we're doing badly, we can pretend we've sacked our manager and we can replace him with someone else. Who knows, if this series goes on long enough and Schalke become a super club like Bayern Munich, maybe Pep Guardiola could be wearing the Schalke blazer. But for now, it's going to be the Bosnian-Austrian manager, Miran Muslic. Hopefully that's an in-depth enough introduction to what state the squad is in right now. And we've not even made a single change to this team, so let's speed run some of the first things we need to do. First, 3 scouts are going to be sent out for youth academy players, 1 going to Germany, 1 to Poland, and 1 to Turkey. Hopefully these choices make sense to you. It's basically where every single German youth player comes from. Next, tactics. Schalke fans aren't really that receptive to attractive possession-based football from what I saw in my research, so thankfully we focus on pressing and transitional play because we're going to use Muslic's real tactic. That can be implemented with less talented players, and the players are also easier to replace once you do sell one, so that's what we need to do. Moneyball this Schalke team to being amazing on the transition. The high line we're going to play means we need quick centre-backs, and we're also going to be playing with 3 of them. We need midfielders who can win the ball high up the pitch themselves with high stamina, strength and interceptions. We need a striker who can finish all of their chances, even if they're not that good at making them, and we also need a little bit more pace out wide. That means that this is our best squad for how we're setting up, and we can finally decide on who we're going to sign. So let's start off with the centre-backs. We've got Schallenberg playing out of position in the middle. We've got Bullet on the right, who's really a right back, and we'll give Sanchez another chance after a shaky first couple of seasons. I think the best option to sign here is Katic, someone that Muslic loves too. He's been heavily linked to Schalke in real life, and he's the perfect middle centre-back for our 3-defender formation. With him signed, Schallenberg can now go back into midfield, and now I think it's just about finding our Silla replacement. We're going to need one of these because we finally did actually get a big bid. Probably less than we would want and less than you would go for in real life, but it's a decent chunk of cash that covers how much we spent on Nikola Katic. I think we'll just sign a loan here, save our budget for later in the year or different positions, and Max Moestat looks perfect. The deals are all finished on the same day as our second friendly, so of course we have to see how this team plays on the pitch. We're not going to spend too long looking at the highlights of this game, because it is pre-season, but it is against a team that finished 3rd in the same division we're in last year. To be fair, we absolutely dominated, and it might not have been their strongest team, but we did score 3 nice goals, bossed them on possession, bossed them on expected goals, and generally felt pretty confident to start the season. But before we can actually play the first game of our season, it's time for some more admin. Tons of our players are going on the loan list, and from what I can tell, most of these guys actually play for our second team, which is in the 4th division. Next, it was time to check on the academy and see what we'd found. Our Turkish scout had found a top talent. He's a huge central defensive midfielder, while our German scout found the next Benedikt Howades. Well, that's what the media are saying anyway, and hopefully his career turns out a little bit better than that injury-prone centre-back. I have no idea how either of these guys will turn out, but they have really good overalls for a 16 and 17-year-old. We're not promoting them just yet though, so for the first time, let's play a league game, and it is against Düsseldorf, who are another massive team from the second tier. I've always had quite a lot of nostalgia for that save we did with Schalke back in 2021, so hopefully this save is just as fun on FC25. Karaman trying to get it into Morstad. Well, that's the kind of ball that we're going to need to do. He's not really the fastest striker though. Bachmann in midfield, can we one-two it with Schallenberg? We can. We've got a bit of a gap, but we tried to fake inside. Probably not the right decision to do right there. Bachmann again. Younes, I think we had him in our first team actually a couple of years ago, and I remember him being pretty good. Oh no, we've got to do some defending now. We have not got a lot of pace at the back, but Karius with a nice save there, tipping it over the bar. What a save. Corner comes in. Schallenberg turns, Younes loses it. There's a collision. Oh my god, surely that is not a penalty. Right, we're going bottom left. He goes bottom right, and it's a good penalty. Really weak goal to concede in our first game, but I think we've got plenty of time to try and come back in this one. Karaman trying to do a Burkamp. Younes into Morstedt, and that is a really bad finish. Hopefully, that isn't a sign of things to come. Schallenberg into Bachmann, back to Schallenberg. We have Karaman. Oh, another great save from their keeper. Head it back. We haven't got enough on it. Come on, come out, Karius. We're relying on him so much. That would have been an awful goal. Donko gets on the ball. Karaman into Younes, into Morstedt, and that is a tidy finish. Just tapped past the goalkeeper. Hopefully that one is actually a sign of things to come, because that was a really nice goal. Really enjoyed scoring that. Got to do some defending now. It looks like our midfield isn't tracking back. There's a big gap in the middle, and just like that, we are behind yet again. Okay, we've defended the corner well, and I think we're somehow in behind the last man. And Morstedt does not have the pace, but can he hold off this defender? Gets towards the box, we could pull it across, but we're gonna finish. And that is the equalizer. 2 goals on your debut. If we can get a hat-trick, maybe we can actually go on to win this. But all of that came thanks to a great counter-attack off a corner, which is exactly how we want to play. Come on, we can still get the win here. Højlund is on the ball into the box and into the top corner. What a finish that is from Emil Højlund. And we've only got 5 minutes to hold on. This could be a win on our debut, and that would be huge for our season. Emil Højlund proving he can do what Rasmus Højlund can't. Gotta be honest, for a second there, I did think that was the hat-trick. And that is it. The referee blows his whistle, and we have won. Not only have we won, but I think we kind of did deserve it. I mean, they had more shots, more passes, and more possession, but still a good performance. So, thankfully, Karaman did have his bid rejected. We tried to negotiate up to about 3.4 million, which is about what he's worth, but we do have enough money in our budget for one more signing. We talked about Moneyball earlier, and I think Timotheus Pusaj could be that exact player, because he's rapid, he can press, he can play left back and left midfield, and he can even shoot pretty well for a left back. So overall, he is perfect for that left midfielder spot, and of course, he's going straight into the squad for our second game of the season against Preußen Münster. I gotta say, that is one of the coolest logos in this entire game. I love the eagle and the black and white, and of course, I like the history behind Prussia too, but hopefully we can get a second win and crush them like they did the Austrians back in the 1800s. So, nice interception there from Sanchez, some one-touch passing, gets it into Bachmann. We've got a bit of space out wide. Looks like Younes is playing as a half-winger in this game, Karaman, and I think basically our entire team touched the ball in that move. Bit of an attack from Munster. Batmaz, and good save there from Karius. Karaman into Morstad. Gets deflected by Behrens, and Kulis has passed it straight to us, hit it. And that is 1-0. What is that defending? They passed it straight to Karaman. And I think that's the first goal of the season for our Turkish captain. Of course it is. Morstad with 2 and Højlund with 1. And great play, to be fair. I mean, good bit of pressing up front. Good transition. Right man in the right spot. Prussian Munster on the attack. Big gap yet again. And that is 1-1. I don't know why our defense keep doing that. Come on, can we defend? Puchaz, some good defending from him. Sanchez gets it up, and that is half-time 1-1. Another quite exciting match. I mean, I don't know which way this one's going to go. We've got quite a bit of pressure on them, But yeah, I think we can probably go on to push for the winner. Mustat into Karaman, into the box, hit it. Oh, I was so close to finding that far post. Look at that, even our manager thought that one was in. Mustat again into Karaman. Can we give it to Puchaz? We can. Low ball in. And Mustat is always tapping that one past the goalkeeper. I think low cross goal has got to be one of the most satisfying ways to score in this game. Okay, we're countering from a corner, and Puchaz has beaten his man. This guy has 90 pace. He's not getting caught. The defender's not even trying. Into the box, finesse it. Okay, that wasn't the most difficult goal, but it is another goal on his debut. We had Mustat with 2 in the first one, and Puchaz with 1 in this game. Yunus trying to find the far post, can't quite do it. Okay, we need to do a bit of defending, but Katic, brilliant step in right there. All of our new signings playing so well. Corner, come on, Puchaz, can he hit it? No, he can't, but Bachmann can. 4-1. This is an absolute demolition job. Prussian Munster might not be one of the best teams in the division, but we have made them look like they belong in the 3rd tier. And that is that. We have beaten them 4-1, so we've already scored about 7 goals in our first 2 games. Defending, not so good as our attacking, but hopefully we can continue this form into the season. If we do a quick bit of analysis on our match fact stats, then you can see our XG is exactly what we scored. We did quite a lot of saves, we won a lot of tackles in midfield, which is perfect for how we want to play. So, as I said, we're probably only going to play a couple of matches in every single episode. So, we're going to skip that game against Unterhaching in the Cup, and we're also skipping this 0-0 we had against Bochum because it wasn't really that interesting of a match. But the next match could be huge. Playing against Hannover 96, a team that's been in the Bundesliga almost as much as Schalke have. Another giant team in the 2nd division, and it seems like this league is full of massive teams that everyone will know. Yunus getting on the ball, Schallenberg playing it through to Karaman. If we can beat this man, we can probably pull this across, but great defending there from Halstenberg, the former international. We get it into the middle, Karaman into Schallenberg, into the box, good save, but we're going to get this rebound. Yes, we are. Right man in the right position. This guy just cannot stop scoring goals. It doesn't matter if they're tough ones, it doesn't matter if they're tap-ins into an open goal like that. You still have to be in the right place to score the goal. Surely we're not going to concede straight away after scoring yet again. Oh, we have. I think that's happened 3 times in the 3 matches. Puchaz is cross-blocked, and that is going to be half-time. 1-1 yet again. There's a lot of threat coming from Hanover, and our defence has been torn wide open. Lee Hyun-ju with a top corner finish. So we're going to need to do yet another comeback. Oh, another massive gap. Lee Hyun-ju yet again, and into the bottom corner this time. We have absolutely collapsed, and we cannot attack at all. Volksammer gets it out wide. Is he going to get the hat-trick? He isn't. Oh my god, what have I just watched from Karius? That is the reputation he has in England, that he does stuff like this, and I mean, that is just hilariously bad. Puchaz into Yunus. We probably got one last attack. Can we save something? Karaman, roulette, finesse it. And that pretty much sums up the game. We missed the target, and we've somehow lost 4-1. I think that's probably going to be the last match of the episode as well, because that was the last match of August. So hopefully that isn't a typical Karius performance, a 4.1 out of 10. But in the next episode, we are going to be playing Deadline Day. We are going to be playing September and October, and we can hopefully start playing against some Bundesliga teams in the Cups. I thought I'd show you this page as well. I was pretty impressed that Pedri has gone to PSG for £251 million. And as much as I wish we could fire someone like Karius today and sign someone better, he is probably about as good as it actually is going to get for us this year. Unless we were to get a really good bid. We actually got quite a small one there for Karaman. We are not accepting that for the 2nd top scorer in the league. A swap deal featuring someone we're not even slightly interested in. In fact, we got to 2 hours into deadline day before we even got a bid, and it was for a backup centre-back, Marcin Kaminski. We continued to progress, but the deal didn't even go through, so it's fair to say that deadline day was kind of a damp squib. But maybe that isn't the worst thing in the world, because our team is so good, and we are on such a good winning streak, that we can go to top of the 2nd Bundesliga in this match against Kaiserslautern. Need to do a bit of defending, but Bullet is over there. What a tackle that is. Bachmann, can we get it forwards? We can. If we react to this, we get around the defender and more stats into the box. I mean, was there really any question? What a finish that was to get away from his man and to find the bottom corner. This guy really doesn't deserve to be in the second division. Morstad again. Can we get the cross in? We can. Someone back post. Puchaz. Oh, just wide. Morstad with another cross. Karaman flicks it up. Tries to volley it. We are absolutely peppering them. Can we pull it back? Schallenberg from the edge of the box. Good save there from Kral. Corner's hit in and we don't get anywhere near it, but I think Bullet's going to get there. He is. Cross it back in. That's Karaman, and that is 2-0. We are just scoring goals for fun now. Karaman, can he head it? He can to Morstad, forcing another save. How many chances do we need, man? First real time we're going to have to defend, and I mean, that is absolutely awful. Actually, quite enjoying this match. It's quite easy, to be fair, but it looks like they're going to have an attack, and I think that's gone straight over the bar. Really, I think it's time that we give some of our younger or maybe less played players a game and maybe sub off some of our players so we don't get any big injuries. Karaman into Donkor, out wide to El Fauzi, one of our signings at the start of this year. Hits it, and it's another good save, but this could easily have been 3-4-0 yet again, man. And there we go, the referee confirms it. A nice 2-0 win, a fairly steady, fairly comfortable win. We gave some of our backups a little bit of game time, and yeah, we absolutely deserved it. Okay, so looking at the table, we are now about to play one of the biggest games of the season. They have the second top scorer, they're first in the league. FC Magdeburg should be a real challenge. And just to make sure that it is, I've got into the gameplay mod that we're using and set it up perfectly. So this should be a really tough game on ultimate difficulty. I mean, the fans are really up for this one. Did you see that banner? Absolutely hilarious. Yunus cuts inside. We've got a big bit of space here. Bachmann, Morstad, Karaman. Karaman again. One of those should have gone in. Is our high line about to get punished? Well, it looks like Magdeburg are through on goal, but Bullet using some of his pace to block it. Can he get this again? He can. Cars can't get the shot away just this time. Yunus into Karaman, bit of space out wide. What a tackle that was from Merkin, one of the players that we actually sold. Karaman hits it. Morstad. Oh, we're so used to him finding the top corner. He's danced around 2 or 3. He's got the shot away. This match is so much tougher than the other ones, man. El Zain. And I think that's another really silly penalty we've given away. And they're going to Panenka it down the middle. Oh, he's celebrating like that in front of our fans. That has really annoyed me. We are going for the win right now. Nice space here for Puchaz. Cuts inside, cuts outside. And that is the instant reply for Shalke. Good goal there. Cutting in from the left wing back position. Finding his second goal in 6 matches. What a signing he is. Bachmann, and that is half time. Fairly even. We've had 6 shots to their 3, but not too bad. More stats. Can't quite get the pass right. Corner comes in. Puchaz misses it. Karius is going to charge it down. Oh, good goalkeeping in the end. So we're on the counter and we see the man in the middle. And honestly, their defensive line was so high. We had to punish it. And Morstad makes it 2-1. Straight from a corner yet again. We just so good at transitioning from those. Good ball into Karaman. Let's just hit it. And it's saved around the corner. Here is our corner then. Karaman flicks it up again. Another good save. Second corner. And this time Katic meets it. What a header that is. That's why you send your centre-backs up. Boom, 3-1. And the referee surely is about to blow his whistle. There it is. A 3-1 win in what could actually turn out to be a title match. Okay, so let's break off from playing games for a minute and talk about our academy. Last episode, we found Jorn Hoffman and Samet Kamak, but can we find anyone else? Well, this time, it's our Poland scout who's delivered the goods. We actually released some of the worst players from our academy, so we had a bit more room, and actually, I'm excited to use them, so we're going to play the entire youth tournament. Now, trust me, from the games that I played, Kamak is unreal, and Polat actually does really remind me of Bozdogan back on FIFA 21. And I've also got a surprise to give these guys, and also show you something you might not know you can do with the academy, but that's for later in this episode, so stick around if you're interested in seeing that. Before we can do that though, it's into game 3 of the episode, and also game 1 of October. We had just destroyed St. Pauli's youth team 3-1, but could the first team match it? Well, on the form we're on, we had a pretty decent chance. What a ball, and Karaman's shot takes a good save. They manage to clear it. Bachmann into Schallenberg. Karaman, some really good one-touch play. Yunus, Morstadt, Karaman, goal. What a bit of play, but again, the AI's defense just so deep, giving us so much space that in the end it actually turned out to be fairly easy to score. AI really deep again. Pachaz, can we finesse it far post? We can't. We've got to be careful on this counter-attack. Can we get the ball? And we've given away another penalty. Let's go bottom right again. Oh, what a save this time. Get in there, Karius. Corner misses by a mile. We are absolutely killing them in this first half. It might not look like it from the stats, but we do deserve to be ahead by more. Metcalf running into our box, and he gets the finish spot on. That is the equaliser. Pretty nice goal. Bachmann, really, really ambitious there. Not sure why he's trying that. Bachmann again. Good ball into Morstadt. We're pulling that one across all day. Morstadt and Karaman have got a combined 16 goals already this season. Let's break up that partnership a little bit. Give some of our other strikers a go. Like I said before, we don't want to get injuries to any of our key players if we can avoid it. Edgerstein gives it to Metcalf. He's got a man. Can he pull it back? He does not need to. He has smashed that in. No, again, Metcalf, thankfully, he did try and pull it back. Got the pass wrong. Karaman, last attack. Antwi Ajadi into Karaman, and that is why we have a partnership, because they've just got in each other's way. That could have been the winner, but instead we're settling for the 2-2 draw. It's not every day that you see these kind of media posts in FIFA about a player. Coffee at Brand got one, so what's the harm in scouting them? We had a look. He's got a good age, good pace, good positions, and maybe really good potential. Maybe Coffee could be coming in the January transfer window. We've actually got 2 more games in this episode, and I'm really excited for both. The first is against Karlsruhe, the second worst team in our league, and the other one is the second worst team in the 3rd division. And I know we can score goals, so these next 2 games are just about how many goals can we actually really get. Schallenberg into Morstadt. First time pass isn't quite right. Karlsruhe with some good possession. Martino dances inside. He's got Sals. Was he offside? I'm not sure. He's blasted that, and Karius is more than equal to it. Young into our box. He could pull this back, and he's seen him too. Egloff with a really easy tap in, and we are behind the second worst team in the division. Antwi Ajadi. What a tackle that was from Hoiber. Can we get a goal before half time? Karaman into the box. We could have pulled it across. We went for the shot. Wrong decision. Burnich into their attacker. Sals now. He's found Martino. And he's found the back of the net. 2-0 down. Not what I was expecting. Karaman. And whoa. We got absolutely nailed there with Morstadt. And that is half time. Morstadt into the box. Can he get away from his man? He's going to chip it to Karaman. And that is really poor goalkeeping, but we will take that. Good header. I can't stop talking about how good of a partnership these two really are. Schallenberg into Karaman. Gets away from his man. Plays it to Morstadt. And there we go. He repays the assist with one of his own. And we are level. Puchaz into Karaman. Can we get to it? We can. We have totally turned the game around in 15 minutes. What a performance from these two strikers. They just can't stop scoring goals. Sals gives it to Martino, and that is an equaliser. Yet again, it's a really high scoring game. We're going to counter from a corner yet again. The AI has left no one back. We have Karaman, he could pull it back. He's just going to score, let's be honest. And yeah, that's probably the 5th or 6th one of those counter-attack goals we scored this season, which is pretty crazy to be honest. Can we get one more? The pass not quite right. And I think the counter-attack kings have won this game. Maybe we could defend a little bit better, but there's no doubt that our goal scoring is absolutely on fire. So, next up, we are playing the team that is 19th in the 3 Liga, the Dritte Liga. And I'm actually going to do something pretty interesting here. I want to use Samet Kamek in this game. So what we're going to do is use FIFA Live Editor, go into the loan thing, find our Schalke team. We're going to loan him to the main team for 1 month. And now, if we look here, we can actually use him. The transfer sum is a little bit broken, and if we do terminate the loan, then he just goes back to the youth squad. So it's like a way to short-term promote someone, use them in one match, and send them back. So we've done that with Hoffman, Pullat, and Kamak. So we have 3 youth debutants in this game against 1860 Munich. I hope you weren't waiting all of this time to see us play against Bayern. K-Mac into Morstead, the debutant, let's hit it. Oh, what a goal. This guy has absolutely the world at his feet. Maybe we should just straight up promote him. K-Mac again. Oh, Jakobsen knew what was going to happen there if he didn't get involved. Hoffman kind of gets bullied a little bit, but he is going to get the clearance, so no harm done. Morstead out wide, and this is Polat, one of our other wingers. Going to cut inside. Let's try and get the shot off. That was like watching Messi, all the different ball rolls and stuff. Karius, I think that hit him on the head, but who knows with that guy. Jakobsen, and K-Mac wins the header. Antwi wins one tackle, Antwi wins a second tackle, and yet again. We're through on goal, we're going to score. It's another corner counter-attack goal. K-Mac, he sees that pass through the middle, surely. Oh, it's so close. Schubert off the edge of the box. Dennis, he's done us there, he's turned us, but Karius has saved our bacon. Schroeter and Hoffman, oh my god, he's been left for dead here. He has no pace. Are they going to pull it back? They are. Kind of, that's all of Hoffman's fault. Not quite good enough yet, I don't think. Puchaz, and the ball gets headed away. Puchaz again. K-Mac can't do anything, but I think there's a man down. Oh god, please don't be serious. It's Karaman, isn't it? Probably our second best player, not what we needed. We've had so many big offers for him, and he's just kind of fallen over and damaged his knee, I guess? Polat out wide, been kind of impressed with him, and Remart proves why we need Karaman. Puchaz into El Fauzi, and good shot, but good save from Hiller. Polat again, and we can't do anything with it. It's only been about 20 minutes, but oh my god, how much do we miss that man Karaman? And that's the end of the game. To be fair, not bad performances from some of those youth players. It was good to give them a run out, but Hoffman probably isn't ready just yet. I thought Polat was pretty decent when he got on the ball, but didn't do much elsewhere. And K-Mac, of course, scoring the goal and is generally being our best youth player. The physio has returned, and it's really not great news. Karaman is out until April. That's 8 months with an ACL injury. But can we find a replacement in January? Well, we're going to try and do our best, but until then, we've got either the choice of Bar or Remert. So hopefully Bar can at least score a couple of goals before we have the chance to replace him. In fact, we've already shortlisted a couple of very cheap strikers, a couple of free agents as well, and I'm going to keep scouting all of these guys for the next episode. If you have a suggestion for who we should sign, now is the time to comment it. But right, with that misery out of the way, it's time to see if we can actually win games without our normal strike partnership. Who knows, maybe Bar and Morstedt can actually do it on a rainy night in Osnabrück. Well, let's find out. I remember we used Bar in pre-season and I was not that big of a fan, so fingers crossed now we're in the league, he can be a little bit better. Eunice cutting in from the left, gives it to Puchaz cutting inside, and good save from the goalkeeper. Schallenberg into Morstedt, and yeah, we really are missing that combination up front. Bachmann wins the ball, we have Morstedt. Okay, I see Bar at the bottom of the screen, we're going to try and pull this across, but we've been barged off the ball. Terrible. First bit of defending we've needed to do, and Karius has charged, and Karius has got it this time. Good goalkeeping. Simkala's got a man running in behind, there's the trademark big gap, but Castro has absolutely whiffed that one. Antwi into Schallenberg, and we have Sanchez, our centre-back. I have no idea why he was making the run, but it was actually a pretty classy finish. That's his second goal of the season, so he's probably better at centre-forward than he is as centre-back so far. Antwi going back post, we have Bar there. Oh, we've scored a few there with Karaman. We really are missing him. Looks like, yep, we're going to be ahead going in at half-time, which is rare for us. And that's Zwartz, he turns, he hits it, and it seemed like it went slow motion into the top corner. Morstedt, okay, good run from Bar, finally using his pace, he's got him behind one-on-one, and he has smashed that ball. He must have got that right in the middle of his foot. Top corner, nothing the goalkeeper can do. Ganase, he's got a couple of runners. Zwartz, one of them. He's beaten Bullet. He's beaten our other defender. He's in behind here, and good save that from Karius. Okay, we're going to make a triple sub now. Let's try and hold on to this 2-1 win. Osnabrück goes short. Langhammer, and it's been hit, and it's been deflected in off their striker. They've scored one of the best goals we've conceded, and probably the worst. And their manager looks absolutely ecstatic to be level. Yeah, well, that's it. That's the end of the match. We couldn't really get on the ball in the second half, and there's no wonder we're walking down the tunnel so early. So things haven't been so easy for us in the league. We have also played a game against Firth, which we've lost, and now we are slowly sinking down. This is really bad news for us because we don't really have the transfer funds to go out and buy a new player, so we do need the players that we have to start performing better. Hopefully this game against Hertha Berlin can be the little catalyst that reignites our season. If it doesn't, we're going to probably have to make some tactical changes. I thought that was good defending from Katic, but look at that graphic. Morstadt's basically a one-man team at this point. Hertha get into the box with Reese, and they're going to hit it. Oh, off the post. Karius was beaten. Morstadt pressing. Morstadt winning the ball into the box. Can we get the shot away? Clemens has just a little bit too much pace, and we can't get the ball off the defenders. They're going to clear that one. Morstadt again. 1-2 with Barr. Younes. He's gone. He's through. John Anthony Brooks doesn't have the pace. Morstadt one-on-one. Easy finish in the end. Good bit of pace and strength to hold off the defender, and that is his 10th goal in just 13 matches. So that's half time. Going in ahead as usual, but hopefully we don't choke it in the second half as usual as well. Feels like Hertha Berlin are a bit more attacking in this half. Mazza on the ball, and that is a huge bit of space for Reese. Karius there. I was resigned to that going in. That was an absolutely incredible save. More pressure from Berlin. Baribo onto the edge of the box, and that is a long shot. Really nice finish. Can't really blame Karius or the defenders for that one, I'm afraid. El Fauzi, come on, turn. We've got Younes chip this in behind. Morstadt into the box. Brooks has been beaten again, and that is Schalke ahead of Hertha Berlin yet again. Cousance, he's been really good so far. Demmer, Baribo, okay, hopefully they keep attacking like that because that was so easy to defend. Younes, what a ball that is. Out to Puchaz, we haven't seen much of him this month, but across, and that's going to be the hat-trick. It is the hat-trick for Morstadt, his first one. 12 goals in 13 games, and so close to being a 1-goal-a-game striker. Reese beats his man, and we can't get ahead for long, can we? 3-2 now, still trying to hold on for the last 5 minutes. We're defending so deep, but somehow still there's a massive gap for Baribo. Chests it down. That defending, man. Why is our defence so deep? We were on defensive, parked the bus, but I wasn't expecting that. I think it's clear that Hertha were happy to get the draw, and that is exactly what they've got. So that is no wins in 4 matches for us, and we are sliding down the table despite scoring so many goals. Right, to be honest, I've had enough of these bad results. We're conceding way too many goals, and we're scoring plenty, but what's the point of that when you're not winning the matches? Being 6th in this division with Schalke is kind of embarrassing, so it's time for a mid-season tactics switch-up. Because I'm really not been impressed by Barr in the couple of games we've used him, we've actually moved from a 3-4-1-2 to a 3-4-3 formation, with Younes probably being the most important player in this tactic now, playing as a shadow striker. If he can combine with Morstadt in the same way that Karaman used to, then that could reignite our season. Katic is going to be our captain too now, but I don't think we're going to actually have a tougher first match. We're playing against first place Paderborn. They score goals for fun, so our target is really just to get a clean sheet. A 0-0 draw would be fine, a scrappy 1-0 win would be perfect, but I'm not expecting to blow these guys out of the water at all. Every time I see one of these graphics about Morstadt, I get more and more nervous that they're going to recall him from his loan and just play him in the Bundesliga. Puchaz into Younes. Okay, beats his man, good a bit of agility into the box, and can't quite get the finish right, but that was really good from Younes. Again, Younes on the ball. We've got a runner in front of him. It's Puchaz again. He has a ton of pace. We already know this. He's going to drive into the box. We've got no one to really pull it back to, so let's just finish it. And that is a really nice right-footed curler into the bottom right corner. Absolutely amazing goal. Katic playing like Maldini. Back out to Puchaz. I think that's Younes, it is. Turns his man. Can he get the shot away? We go far post, but he drags it wide. He is having such a crazy game. Involved at both ends. Younes has really stepped it up recently. Younes again on the ball. Can we turn this guy? Oh, we can. Can we get the shot away again? This time it's on target, and this time it finds the back of the net. A really nice dribble, and probably an even better finish to beat the goalkeeper. And we are ahead 2-0 now against Paderborn. Bullet turns, and that is half-time. Really good performance from the lads so far in this first half. We have reduced Paderborn to 0 shots, which is incredible with how dominant they've been. Schallenberg's won it. He's going to flick it to Morstadt, and he gets away from his defender into the box. Let's just hit this far post. And when you see this guy one-on-one, you know there is only going to be one result. Morstadt with yet another goal. No wonder the fans love him. Schallenberg plays it through into Morstadt. A ball roll does 2 defenders, and Yunus is going to dink this. I'm not sure it was the finish that we were intending, but it is the result that we were intending. What a goal, and that is 4-0 now for Schalke. And with a lead this big, you can take off your best players. There are the 2 men of the match. Doing some defending now. I think someone's open in the middle, and they're going to get the header off, and it's a good save from Karius to keep that clean sheet. El Fauzi into Misa Bar. Let's just hit this, and it's gone straight down the middle. Every single player has been unreal since we changed tactics. Gomez, and it's going to take another good save from Karius. Are they going to keep it in? Oh my god, that sums up their match. Bullet on the ball, and that is it. A 5-0 demolition. Maybe they were just complacent, or maybe we're just really good now. I'm not too sure. How have we won that game 5-0, but also keeping the clean sheet? It's about time we got one, to be fair. Problem is though, Morstadt is doing so well that surely Hoffenheim are about to recall him. We might make it to January with him in the team, but it's hard to see a player that scored 14 goals in 14 games sticking around in the second division. It would be even harder for us to keep him if he scored against Bundesliga club Heidenheim in the cup, proving that he could do it at the next level up. Before we actually play this game though, we've seen how much Højlund and Becker have improved while they've been out on loan, so we're going to promote some of our youth again for this match, but this time it's going to be permanent. I'll loan them out as soon as we can, and hopefully they have similar growth to what those guys have got, and they're ready for the fringes of the first team next season. It's a really big opportunity for Pollard now though, because we're starting him in the game against Heidenheim, while the other 2 are going to be on the bench. Let's see what we can do. This is going to be a really good test, playing against a team from the Bundesliga, even if they're not one of the better ones in Heidenheim. I don't know if our tactics will work against a good team, but let's hope that they do. And they're through. Good save from Karius. Surely the rebound's going in, and Winkler only can find the side net. And Morstedt has got away from his defender after winning it himself. Doesn't look like he's got the pace to get the shot away, but maybe we can. Oh, absolutely we can. We have silenced their fans. Can we hold on to this lead? Polat plays in Morstadt. He kicks it out, but doesn't go down. Too honest. And that's half-time. We are ahead, and we are definitely into hold on to this win territory. Heidenheim attacking. Kaufmann gets it out of his feet and into the back of the net. Karius beaten from distance yet again. Kaufmann into Honsack. Scienza is out wide, trying some tricks. Can he get into the box? He can. And we've dived in recklessly. We've tried to win it. It was a desperate situation. I think it was going to be a goal either way. Going left. Winkler goes top right. And we've been sent the wrong way. Come on, we need to get a comeback, and it needs to happen soon. Yunus into Morstedt. I wasn't expecting it this soon. Into the box. Finesses it near post. 2-2. And we are back into this game. I'm not sure how, because we have been dominated. Already got some opinions on what we need to do if we do somehow manage to get promoted. And it is going to involve a lot of new players. Honsack, and that is awful. Trying to repeat what they did earlier in the game, but can't quite do it. Extra time starting then, and we've probably got the fitter team because we've been playing less matches this season. Good save from Karius. What can they do from the corner? Well, they're going to go short, but Chaz is there, and now he's got an open field ahead of him, and he has a lot of pace. Their covering defender doesn't really seem like he wants to do much covering. Can we get into the box? We can. Can we hold off this guy? We can. The finish is spot on as well. And it's a typical Puchaz goal. I think all of his goals have come from counterattacks on corners. But that one was unreal. Winning the ball himself, running 90 metres and putting us 3-2 up. It doesn't really seem like Heidenheim want to equalise this game. And they're not going to. The referee blows the whistle. This tactics change has been unreal. But our next cup game is really the one to look forward to. We're going to be playing in the Ruhr Derby. The internal rivals Borussia Dortmund await us in the quarterfinals, and you will be able to watch that match in the next episode, so make sure you subscribe. But we have one more game today, where we're playing against Nuremberg, and hopefully we can recover some of the damage we caused at the end of last episode and the start of this episode when we were on that bad run, because if we win this game, we go second, just a couple of points off first. As you'd expect, a lot of attention on Morstadt yet again. If he keeps scoring at this rate, there's no doubt he's going to a bigger club in January. Becker gets away from his man. Alright, let's just hit this. I can't believe it's gone through his legs. We've absolutely megged the goalkeeper. Wow, that's a very bizarre angle to be scoring from, but we'll take that 1-0. On the other side, Puchaz cuts inside. We've got a run there from Bachmann. We've got Morstadt, and as you would expect, he has scored a 15th goal. I really don't know what to do with this guy. Should he be going to the Bundesliga? Let me know in the comments. Ooh, so close to one last chance before half-time, but we're going in ahead yet again, 2-0. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Daffner, he's got a runner in there. Okay, and the goalkeeper. Yeah, that's just an absolutely perfect finish. El Fawzi trying to get it into Eunice, but we can't quite do it. Marquez is going to clear it just. So close to getting a really lucky rebound. Just a few seconds left. Are we going to concede a late equaliser? Daffner, good tackle from Bullet, and Katic clears it. If anything, we were going to score on the counter-attack, but the referee blows the whistle, and we have won another match. So, we started this episode in second, dropped down to sixth, and we've recovered to be second, 2 points behind Paderborn, a team, of course, we also beat in this episode. It actually took about a week for the window to really spring into action. It was the 13th and 14th of January that we accepted loans for Hoffmann and Pollat. We also agreed to let Popperl leave the club on a permanent deal and decided we'd rather keep Ron Schallenberg than sell him for such a small amount of money. With Popperl gone, we can now actually afford to sign a new attacking midfielder. I really wanted O.M. Mitchen at Dresden, but no matter what we offered, he was just out of our budget at 2.6 million. Our second choice was actually one of these three guys. I couldn't quite figure out which one to pick, but I think Christiansen's lower asking price helped him win out in the end. He's got decent playstyles for the attacking mid role, as well as a bit more pace, a bit more strength, and better ball control than our current incumbent, El Fawzi. Finally, now that Barr is gone, we can't go into the last 6 months of the season with just a single striker. Karaman is back in 3 months, but we're also going to offer Mario Engels a contract until the end of the year. He's got some pace and a little bit of height, but at 32, he's nothing more than a short-term stopgap that's going to come on off the bench. And with his signing, we are now also ready to play our first match of the episode. I tried to be as realistic as possible with the signings, but I'm actually really excited to use Christiansen and Kaputska. Let's be honest, this team's been a bit of a one-man team for the first half of the season. Everything was going through Morstadt, so hopefully we can provide a few more goals and a few more nice-looking goals as well as we go for this title, which we're only a couple of points behind. Dusseldorf are a pretty decent team this year, but hopefully this new playmaking will pay off. Christiansen into Morstadt, and it took just 7 minutes for him to get his first assist in the royal blue shirt of Schalke. 16 goals now for Morstadt. What a season. Becker's long throw into Morstadt. Christiansen, good ball into Eunice. Surely not. That's 2-0 already. 2 assists for Christiansen. And in under 23 minutes, we have blown away Dusseldorf. Morstadt into Schallenberg, and that's Christiansen. He's got the strength to hold off his man. 2 goals and an assist in the first half an hour. Hopefully he can keep this up for the rest of the year, because he is probably going to end up top scorer and top assister. So just a few seconds left, and it's going to be half time. We're 3-0 up. The game basically over, to be fair. I'm tempted to take off some of our better players like Morstadt, but I think we'll keep them on to see if maybe we can improve our goal difference a little bit. Schmidt, the ball well left to get to him. And Nimic, ooh, nearly killed at top corner. There is still a bit of threat from Dusseldorf. Kaputska into Christiansen. I think that's the first time he's given the ball away. Nimic gets the ball from Appelkamp. Can he get round our defender? He will. He rides the tackle. 3-1, but I think it's too late for a comeback. You know, let's actually make a triple sub and make sure some of our better players are still fit going into the rest of these January matches. Engels with the header. He's hit the post. That was almost the perfect start for our backup striker too. And there it is. The referee confirms we have won 3-1 We stay first in the second division, and we are very impressed with the performances of our two new midfielders. Christensen getting the Man of the Match award, and Kaputska also putting in a really good performance. We followed up the Fortuna game with a 1-0 win against Prussen Munster, and you can see the amount of effort we've put in to strengthen this team over January. A lot of players going out on loan, a couple of players who've agreed contracts for next summer, but they're going to stay at the club for the next 6 months. And a big game against Bochum up next. Bochum, a team we've already played in this series, of course. I believe we won back in episode 1. Christensen trying to score a second goal of his Schalke career in his second game. That would have probably been goal of the season. Yunus goes short from the corner. We get it in, but Morstadt can't win the header. And it looks like he's staying on the floor. Still no update on Morstadt. Callas wins the ball. Katic clears it. And the referee stops the game. Let's hope this isn't too bad. I can't tell if he's holding his shoulder or his knee. But either way, it looks like Engels is going to get an extended run in the side for the next couple of weeks at the very least. Can we win without our two-star strikers? Christensen doing everything he can to try and score. Christensen into Kaputska. And it's Engels' first time he can really run and use that pace. But the shot from the wide angle never really going to threaten the keeper. Here's our former striker, Silla, trying to get round our defenders. But an unorthodox but successful tackle from Callas is going to stop him. More attacking from Bochum, and Katic yet again gets his foot in the perfect place. And the referee confirms that's half-time. It's been a pretty mixed first half. Offensively pretty bad, but defensively absolutely outstanding as usual. Bullet playing right wing for this game. Engels, of course, off the bench, turns his man, tries to play it through to Yunus, and Yunus diving in there. That's probably going to be a yellow card. Hoffman holds off his defender, but Karius palms it round for a corner. Bachmann and Engels can use his pace. This is a better chance than the one earlier. Go across the goalie, and Horn is more than equal to it, keeping their clean sheet. Hoffman on the attack. We've got a big gap. Right, we need to dive in here, but Silla gets there anyway and smashes it top corner. Our own striker from earlier in the year has put Bochum ahead in a game that really we do need to win if we want to stay first. Just a few minutes to go. Let's just hit this with Kaputska. And we found the top corner. Absolutely unreal scenes. That was out of nowhere. We've had no attack at all, relying on a moment of magic from the new signing. Engels into Bachmann. Can we get it back to Engels? He's run past the ball and Yunus can't control it. I think that's going to be it. Yes, it is. Kaputska was on the charge, but the referee calls it quits at 1-1. So despite the pretty disappointing result, the only thing we were interested in is how long our players are going to be out for. Morstad out for 6 weeks, Schallenberg out for 10 days, and of course Karaman still out for 3 months. And I'm really not been that impressed by Engels. Even if he was impressive, we need more than one striker at the club. So I think it's time to recall Emil Højlund from his loan at Cesena in Italy. I don't know who's going to be our first choice striker, but who knows, maybe something big can happen on deadline day to help us decide. Well, fair to say that transfer is not going to change our season, neither's this one really. K-Mac going to Magdeburg for 2 years, we'll probably recall him at some point next season. And Kaminski finally getting his deadline day move that was rejected back in September. But yeah, no real big moves, and it's time for us to make a decision. Who's going to be up front? It's going to be Emil Højlund. Hanover are a team that have already absolutely smashed us 4-1 earlier in the year, and we do need to put the best possible team out. Puchaz coming down the wing, gets the ball in. We try and get it towards Højlund, but a bit of an improvised pass from Christensen. Becker, can he get another cross in? He goes low, and I think Yunus was probably hitting the target with that shot. Becker getting another cross in. Højlund can't win it. Can Yunus win this header? It's Kaputska actually, and that is miles wide. Becker again. He's been pretty impressive so far this game. Højlund into the box. First time he can run with it. He's blocked off, so let's pull it back. Yunus, and deflected out for a corner. Callas. Oh, he's got the ball stolen from him, and all of a sudden there's a lot of men forwards for Hanover. One of them is Jindorf, and he has smashed that ruthlessly into the side netting. What a goal. Here's the guy that scored a hat-trick against us earlier in the season. He pulls it back, and Karius, yet again, I think it was against Hanover he made the last mistake, has just given them a free goal. Nothing we could do to stop that. Volksammer Can we stop it getting even worse before halftime? What a tackle from Katic, but he gives the ball straight back to them. Lee Hyun-ju from outside the box. We're relying on Karius this time to actually make a good save. 10 minutes to go, and it looks like Volksammer's probably through. Katic beaten. Lee Hyun-ju cuts outside, cuts inside. Safe to say we're pretty happy we don't have to play against Hanover again this season. One last chance for glory at the end, but the referee calls it quits. Thank God it was only 3-0 this time. So that's 7-1 on aggregate. Hanover have beaten us this year. Another absolute stinker from Loris Karius, a 4.5. Thankfully though, that wasn't the start of a bad streak. We would win the next 2 games in the league, and of course, we are going to be showing the Ruhr derby right now. Look how good this Borussia Dortmund team is. Honestly, I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm also a little bit excited that we get the chance to compete against one of the best teams in the entire world. They have a couple of players who are rated over 86 rated. Our best player is a 72 on the pitch right now, so it's a good chance to see how good our tactics are and which players could potentially actually make the step up if we do end up getting promoted. Kickoff in what is going to be the fans' biggest game of the season. If we win this, we're in the semi-final of the Pokal. Guirassy trying to get it out to Adeyemi, and even he's not got enough pace there. That was quite an embarrassing pass from such a good player. Getting on the ball in midfield, Yunus turning. Can we get it out wide? And, I mean, that is only seconds after I've just made fun of Dortmund for doing the same thing. Again, pretty embarrassing from Yunus. Guirassy, not the quickest striker, thankfully, so it looks like Bullet's going to cover. We can't win the ball, though. Sabitzer, I think, deflected off Katic. Christensen into Yunus, and Højlund could be through here. He's got the strength, but I think he just hit it a little bit too early. Pretty comfortable in the end for Kobel to reclaim the ball. Mecha, he's got Bino Gittens out wide. He is absolutely skilled past the defender, and it takes an amazing save from Karius to tip it over the bar. Christensen on the charge, and I think Schlotterbeck has absolutely nailed him. Do you believe in miracles? Well, that was not one of them. That was an awful free kick. Christensen, good ball in towards Højlund, but Emre Can heads it away. Christensen again. This time, it's a better ball for Kaputska, but that header, we've really got to do better than that if we want to go on to win this match. Free kick for Borussia Dortmund. One of the last actions of the game. Straight over to Gittens. Would have been unreal if that had come off. The free kick into the volley, but I would have always taken 0-0 at half-time. Gives us a chance to maybe push on in the second half, nick a goal, and then try and defend. Buchaz to Kalas. It's just hit Schallenberg in the head. Straight to their striker, Guirassy, and bit of a camera save there from Karius, but still kept it out. Adeyemi been their biggest threat, but gives it to Sabitzer. He gets around our defender. Trevello shot! Oh, that is unreal. You don't see goals like that in the second division. That is top-class striking. Corner, 5th corner, this one for Dortmund. Adeyemi, he's not just pace. He has got a bit of an aerial threat, and he wins the header and puts Dortmund 2-0 up. El Fauzi, can he do anything to substitute? Well, he's going to 1-2 it with Christensen, and he's through. Surely this is going to be 2-1. It is. Can we get back into this game? Is there still time for the comeback? Well, if El Fauzi has anything to do with it, I think there is. Emre Can diving in, but it goes straight to Adeyemi. Katic has been done for pace, and then the trickery and the spin and the shot, everything absolutely perfect from Dortmund. One last corner then for Dortmund, and I think that's probably game over. Bullet wins it this time, no second Adeyemi goal, and a 3-1 defeat to our eternal rivals, our biggest rivals. It could have gone a lot worse, but also I do feel like that could have been a 2-2 if only we defended slightly better, but to be fair, they did have 17 shots for 1.9 XG. With so many matches left to play, I think we should get started straight away against the surprise title contender in Holstein Kiel. I don't know if you've been noticing, but as we've shown more and more league tables throughout the season, Holstein Kiel have been on one of the most crazy runs of form I've ever seen. They've closed the gap on us from about 15 points down to just a handful, so if they keep that up, who knows, maybe this potentially could be another title decider before we even play against Paderborn. And Machino, that's their top scorer, but yeah, we always knew that was offside, miles off in the air. Puchaz into Yunus, back to Schallenberg, back to Yunus, and we're going to try and give it to Højlund. And there we go, 1-0, 15 minutes in. It's a nice finish from the low knee that we've recalled. And yeah, he's starting to get in some good form himself. Mistake there from Bullet, and it's a good ball from Kiel. And what a finish that is from Machino. You can see why he's the second top scorer in the league. And that's another long shot, and I thought that one was also finding the top corner. For Chaz, we've got a couple of runners, but we're going to go straight across to Højlund. Oh, that should have been 2-1. That should have been his second goal of the season, and Yunus getting a little bit angry. Good tackle from Katic. Can't quite bring it out though because it's half-time, 1-1, and probably we would take that going into this match. Yunus into Højlund. Can't quite get it out wide. We really are missing that link-up play that Karaman used to provide. Good tackle from Katic, but the referee doesn't agree. It's going to be a free kick to Kiel. They go along with it. And Katic can't win the header. And Eris does. It's an error from us. It's a goal for Eris. Sanchez into midfield. Can we get back onto the ball? We can. Schallenberg wins it. Oh, we're just being too aggressive. Machino plays it into Skrzybinski. And what a tackle that is from Karius. Why was he charging out? But what a decision in the end. Just got 10 minutes to go. Schallenberg into Højlund. He's got some space to run into. Surely this is going to be 2-2. It is. Good finish across the keeper. And Højlund has his second of the game and third goal of the season. Is there time for one last Kiel attack? Well, it looks like it is, but Karius hasn't spilt this one. It's going to end 2-2. In the end, a draw, not the worst result. It does keep us second in the table. We lose ground to Paderborn, but we have an equally big match now against St. Pauli. This is second versus third, and really, if we win this, we can make a bit of a gap and then almost guarantee we're going to get promoted and just focus the rest of our attention on going for the title. And that would be so big if we can win this match. Callas into Christensen. What an impact he's had since he joined us. A beautiful ball into Højlund. Finesses it, and the goalkeeper lets it go through him. I think it hits him on the leg, bounces over the goalkeeper, and that is Højlund's fourth goal of the season, third since we recorded him 3 matches ago. What a decision that's turning out to be. Ball comes in for Højlund, but his header is pretty painfully bad, to be fair. St. Pauli on the attack. Katic got to be favourite to win that, but it's a really bad header. Good save from Karius still. Højlund going out wide. We have Becker out here, and he's going to hit one. Oh, it was just wide. A lot of power on it, though. Could have been really good. Defend the throw-in. Well, it goes back to St. Pauli, and now they've got a bit of space they can run into. Can we pull a defender across or a midfielder? We can. Schallenberg's there, keeps it in. That is really good defending. And Yunus through to Christensen just before half-time. Can we make it 2-0 before we go in at the break? We can. That is a brilliant finish, this time over the goalkeeper's leg. And Christensen gets another goal since he signed in January. 2-0 at half-time. We have absolutely killed their biggest threat. He has had 0 shots, barely any touches. Things are looking really good for us now. Saad with the spin. Tries to play it into Afoloyan, but I think he was offside. We clear it anyway. Metcalf on the ball, playing it into Saad. There's so much more threat. And there is a goal for St. Pauli. Have they got time to get back into this game? You know, I think it's time. We're going to bring Morstedt off the bench for the first time in 1.5 months. Boy, have we missed him, but Højlund has put in a really good performance in this game. Kaputska, we have Morstedt. He bent his run perfectly, and the powerful shot saved by Vasil. We have really missed Morstedt. Just a few seconds left, play it into the middle and confirm the win. That was a game we really needed to win. I'm glad to see Morstedt is back, but Højlund by far our man of the match. It's actually been quite a while since we last looked at our academy. With our 3 promoted players all out on loan, we need to get the next set of players ready to then get promoted themselves. This is the last bunch of people we're going to scout this season, but it feels like we do now have a good bunch of players ready to come through. It's always good to try the players in youth tournaments, so that's what I've decided to do. And even though Wolf has improved by 6 this season, I think Krorsik is by far the most promising player in our academy. He's really quick, but does need to work on his defending. Jablonski and Turkoglu both give the same kind of vibe as Kaputska as a box-to-box playmaker, but our new signing Shiba is actually one of the highest rated players we've ever signed at that age. We're going to go back to the first team now, but it's proof that exciting things are happening in the academy, maybe for future seasons. On the 1st of March, we finally got the email we wanted to see. Max is back, although he couldn't help us win our next 2 games. We won 1, we lost 1, but that still makes us first in the table. I also decided to check the Bundesliga to see if we might be playing someone in the relegation playoffs, and we saw Elversberg have this record. 1 win, 2 draws, and 24 losses from their first 27 games. Let's hope that isn't us next year if we end up getting promoted. But we had him back. Max was back in the team, we were playing against Onserbruck, and another match that we really do have to win if we want to stay in first place. Younes, good trick, put it through his man's leg. And then Callas is, let's hit it out wide, see if we can get it to Becker. Good touch. Look how much flair we're playing with now. This is immense. Younes going forwards. There's Max into the box. And I think old Max would have scored that. Hopefully the injury hasn't affected him too much. El Fawzi trying to get it into Max. But Younes is going to hit this. And that was so close to finding the top corner. From the corner. Younes, Katic, 1-0. What a header that is. Down into the ground. Katic must be on about 5 goals this season, and all of them have been so important, including this one. Younes, finesse, saved around the corner. Can we do the same? Younes, Katic, straight into the goalkeeper's arms. And that is half-time, I'm pretty sure. There it is, half-time whistle goes. 1-0, Katic making the difference so far, both defensively and offensively. Becker gets the ball out of his feet into Bullet. We're going to go forwards, and the rebound is really lucky. Kaputska into the box, trying to go across the goalkeeper. That could have killed off the game, but just unlucky from Kaputska. El Fawzi goes out wide, and it's Bullet who's overlapping from centre-back. He doesn't get forwards much. He puts it through his defender's legs, and just before he can finish it, he gets the ball taken off him. Younes forwards, roulettes through players into the box, and it's a great save. I really did think that was going to be 2-0. Just got to hold on for 1 more minute. Let's hope we don't choke this. And Sanchez gets it away. Schallenberg's on it. And I think Karius' clearance is going to end the match. Hoyland wins the header. And that is 1-0. Another important step towards the end of the season. Every game we win gets us 1 match closer with a game in hand. We see Paderborn are playing Hanover, a decent team, but annoyingly, they do go on to beat those 2. Meaning this game against Fürth, who have kind of fallen away in the second half of the season after a really good start, is yet another absolutely huge match. Christensen's going to be out for the season, so hopefully Karaman can come back in soon. That would be massive. Becker cutting inside, but the ball somehow ends up going to Kaputska into Younes. And just 8 minutes in, some really nice teamwork sees Younes toe poke the ball past the goalkeeper, and that's 1-0. Decent defending. We tried to block him off there, and I think it did affect his shot. And that's Julian Green, I think. He's got a lot of pace, but so does Bullet. But what a tackle that was from Bullet. Hergota. And Katic has been beaten by Green. We can't even slide in. It would be a red. Green finishes well. Powerful shot from outside the box. Muller into Green. He cuts inside. He cuts outside. He cuts inside. He cuts towards the goal. And there it is. A top corner finish. That was an unreal bit of dribbling. And an even better shot to put Fürth ahead. Morstedt. El Fawzi just before half-time. Surely 2-2 in the 40th minute. What a match this is going to turn out to be. This could be one of the highest scoring matches of the season, and somehow that's El Fawzi's first goal of the season. If we can defend the corner, it's going to be half time and nearly see the ball go into the back of the net, but that is half time. Hopefully we can get 1 goal and try and shore things up at the back, because we are getting absolutely dominated in this game by Greuther Fürth. Ball goes through to Younes, 1-on-1. We always know what that's going to mean just after half time. What a finish yet again. This guy, 32 years old, but maybe he is good enough for the Bundesliga next year. Fürth keep attacking. Good interception from Bullet. Clears the ball as well. If we can just kill this game off, it would make things so much more comfortable. Let's just hit this with Morstedt. And what a decision that was. He has blasted that. That's one of the most important, but by far the furthest out goal of our season. Probably goal of the year. But oh my god, that is huge. Is there one last chance for Fürth? There is! And they've missed wide of the target. They do not deserve to be losing this game. They have absolutely destroyed us. Julian Green, what a performance he's done, but Schallenberg's equal to him this time. We clear the ball, and we have confirmed the win in Bavaria. What an important match that was. I'm not really sure how we won that. We had 7 shots to their 12. They had way more possession, way more passes. And Paderborn again go on to win their match. Somehow Højlund wins Player of the Month for the entire division, despite not actually playing for half of it. But we'll take that. And Hertha Berlin is going to be the final match of April and the final match of this episode. Match day 30. So in the next episode, we have another 4 matches coming up for you. That's going to be the last 4 matches of the season. It could be massive, so make sure you subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Carbonic getting it forward to Thorsteinsson. Niederlechner, and that was near post. You can see why he's a bit frustrated that he's gone for that one, I think. We get the ball into Kaputska, into Younes, playing shadow strike. He turns his man. He was so close to getting in, getting a shot away. Becker, Kaputska. Younes trying to go back to Becker. Can El Fauzi get the low cross in? Do it again. It's so good defensively, Hertha Berlin. Niederlechner has a lot of space here. He's got 2 men that he can pass to as well. One of them's Mazza. The other one's Cuisance. And that's a really top save from Karius. El Fauzi gets it out to Becker on the right. He gets it out of his feet, but before he can pull it back, Gersbeck dives on the ball. And that's going to be level at half-time. It's another game where we haven't really had any kind of attack. But that's just because of how good Hertha Berlin are. Niederlechner outside the box. Always going to find the top corner there. No pressure, no men in between him and the goal. And we're 1-0 down in a game we have to win. Morstedt, he's not really done too much. And his shooting, not quite as good as it was earlier in the season. El Fauzi, what a ball that is into Younes, but I think he was marginally offside. Let's try something special from this free kick. Into Morstedt, into the box, let's cut inside, let's try and finesse it. Oh, but we can't get the shot away. Can we get a late equaliser in this game against Hertha Berlin? We're going to try everything we have. Younes, well, that actually went to the wrong person, but Kaputska is through into the box. And there it is. How many important last-minute goals has this guy scored? What a signing he has turned out to be. From goals outside the box, goals inside the box, he has won us 10 points at least already. Last action of the game probably. Can we counter-attack with Kaputska? We can't. Dem's going to control it. It's only a draw, and the fans are fuming. They knew that a win here could see us potentially pull clear of Paderborn if they draw or lose. But we'll have to see what's gone on in that match, because a draw here could actually have just cost us the title. Or maybe not, because Paderborn have lost 1-0 to Bochum, meaning we are now first by a single point. So things are shaping up perfectly for Schalke in this last episode. Our next match against Paderborn, if we win that, we only have to win 2 of our last 3 to confirm the title. If we lose it, then we are really on the back foot and things could be going down to the final match of the season. It is Schalke versus Paderborn. First versus second, just a single point between us in our favour. We're currently first, and if we can win this, we get a 4-point gap with just 3 games to go. It's actually so important. We've even decided to do a press conference. This is the first one we've done all season, but we need to get that morale up just to try and confirm the win. I would say we're now borderline at the strongest squad we can possibly field. Christensen is probably better as an attacking midfielder than El Fauzi or Karaman, but other than that, the rest of this team is absolutely outstanding. Our players have done the short 156-kilometer drive down the Autobahn to Paderborn. We've done everything we can to prepare to try and win this game, and let's see if we can do it and basically confirm automatic promotion. Gomez into Kostun's, good tackle from Puchaz, but they get it back. Klaas, I think he scored against us before, but that is a great save from Karius. No wonder he's celebrating. Can we defend the corner? Well, it's awful, we're clearing it. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come. Schallenberg into El Fauzi. We've got a run. We've got another run. Can we get into Morstedt? Not quite. It was some good defending there from Brackelman and Paderborn. So possession massively in favour of Paderborn, but that's a decent throw in. We get it out wide. We get to El Fauzi. Can we turn with Kaputska? Hit it, Younes. Come on. Oh, it's a good save from Riemann. Corner. We're pretty lethal from these. We actually get our head to it. There's a rebound. We're just spamming shoot, but we can't get the shot away. Could easily have been 1-0. Younes. Morstedt. We've got a run. El Fauzi. We've got Younes. We can't play the ball through. Again, making so close to getting good chances. Younes. Turn. Gets it forward. Kaputska from midfield. We've got Morstedt. I think he was offside if that had actually gone through. Schallenberg. Younes. Morstedt. But the referee blows the whistle before we can finish the attack. 0-0 at half-time. A draw isn't the end of the world for us, of course, being in first place. But it does probably mean we're going to have to win the last 3 games of the season. Schallenberg. Just after kick-off. Good ball through to Younes. We've got the Morstedt run, but we go for Kaputska instead. 1-on-1, surely! The rebound! How has he saved that? He got himself in the way. That was absolutely unreal defending. Free kick from Paderborn. I'm not sure it was one, but I thought that was going top corner for a second. Elgans. He's got a big gap. Custons. Oh, and he's found the top corner. We've conceded a few goals like that this season. Seems like Karius doesn't have the reach to get to them. And we're 1-0 down. Gomez. Custons. Great tackle from Katic. Great tackle again, but they get a third chance. And it's an easy save for Karius. We are getting absolutely dominated. All we need now is one attack, though. They're so high, their defensive line. But Gomez was through. We had to take the red card there with Puchas. I think there's no doubt that that is going to see us down to 10 men. There it is, confirmed. And we've got 15 minutes. We've got 10 players, and we need to score a goal. This is turning out to be such a frustrating game. It seems like Paderborn are just equal to every attack we try. Becker into Schallenberg. He's far forwards, but again, they intercept the low cross. We need something drastic. We need a 5-man substitution. Karaman returning to the pitch for the first time in 6 months. Kaputska, we've got Morstedt. Can we get the pass right? We can. Morstedt, okay, through on goal. Surely, his touch is so heavy. Oh, that could have been the equaliser. But I think, yes, we have lost. Such a huge game. We have lost it. So we've lost our position at the top of the table. And we've lost any kind of advantage we had going into these final 3 games. Yeah, overall, that is a bit of a disaster. But our last 3 aren't actually that tough. While Braunschweig are in the top 5, the other 2 teams are in the bottom 5. So we do have a decent chance of winning at least 2 of these final 3 games. Karaman is also back as an attacking midfielder, so things are probably actually looking a bit more positive than we thought they would after that last match. We get the ball out to Becker. What a season he's had. He's hitting it. We went for the top corner special. That would have been unreal. Becker again. Everything's coming through him in this first 15 minutes. Crikey, that was very risky there. Slide tackling on Karaman, but they get away with it. No penalty given. Good turn from Karaman into Schallenberg. We've got Morstedt into the box. Oh, it's a great save from Johansson. Could this be another one of those frustrating games where we just can't score? Katic wins the header and it falls to Morstedt. That is absolutely amazing attacking play to be in the exact right spot to tap that one in. It was a great header from Katic, but great positioning too there from Morstedt to be in the right spot. And can we hold on to this lead? Karaman into Kaputska. We've got a Younes. We've got Karaman into the box. And we have missed him so much since episode 2. But he is back. He has scored after 6 months out on his first start as an attacking midfielder. I love to see that. Younes with the spin into Morstedt. Oh, I thought we were through. We must have just been offside. We have kept them to 0 shots in this first half. If we do the same, of course, that means we are going to win in the second half. Braunschweig dancing into the box. Reibiger, and he's gone near post, but there's a little bit of threat. The first time they've shown any in this game so far. Rittmuller wins it off us cheaply. Are we going to dive in? We're not. We're relying on Karius to keep that clean sheet. Morstedt. Okay, he's bumbled his way through 2. Into the box. Holds off his man. Finishes absolutely perfectly. He'd gone a while without scoring too many goals. His form kind of did fall off after he got injured, but he could be back. Scoring 2 in this game and probably giving us the win. Goal difference could be important come the end of the season, so we're going to keep pushing for a 4th goal. Younes out wide. Can we get it into Højlund? We can't. Johansson's catching that all day long. And Kaputska with the last chance. No top corner for him this time, but a 3-0 win. That is exactly what we needed after that defeat against Paderborn in the previous game. And now there's just 2 matches left in this season. So it looks like Paderborn have gone on to win their game as well. They are still 2 points clear of us with just 2 matches to go, but we're playing the worst team in the division now, Waldorf. They've been anchored to the bottom position for most of the year, and if we win this match, There's no way that we can be caught by St. Pauli. That means we are automatically promoted and just playing in the final match for the title. So all we have to do is confirm that win. Puchaz can't quite find Eunice in the box, but we're going to recycle it with Kaputska. We've got Karaman, we've got Schallenberg on the edge of the box. Not sure he scored too many goals, and that's probably the reason why. Fine, into Boyd from the edge of the box. Threatening, but thankfully just off target. We have conceded quite a few from that range. Puchaz into Eunice, let's turn, and then let's hit it across the goalkeeper. Oh, that is magnificent. It was a low percentage shot, but somehow it's paid off. 1-0 lead. Abifade into Terence Boyd. The former American international finds the top corner. Great finish. Schallenberg. Karaman, we're pushing to get the lead back. Karaman into the box. We've got a man, we can pull this across. We could probably have gone for the shot ourselves, but when it's this important, we are going to get the tap in and then celebrate with a little Ronaldinho dance. Katic wins the ball, but we're not going to be able to play it through. That is going to be half-time, a 2-1 lead. Waldhof are not taking this match lying down. They are putting a lot more threat on us than I was expecting, and it's going to be a lot tougher to go on to get another goal. Kaputska trying to dance into the box, but we're going to just recycle it to Puchaz. Into Eunice, let's finesse it. Takes a good save there from their goalkeeper. Corner comes in, and Katic meets it yet again. It must be his 5th or 6th corner goal of the season. Look at that, the other guy doesn't even jump, and it goes straight into that top right corner. Abifade wins the ball off us. He's got Boyd up front again, but he's just going to keep pushing into the box, and he has smashed that with so much venom. We've got 5 minutes to hold on now. Hopefully we can do it, because otherwise we are going to choke this title chance. Cross comes in, but Bullet chests it away. Very confident play. And Becker just trying to kill the last few minutes of the game. We're going to hit it. The goalie saves it, but we confirm the win. And we also confirm we are promoted to the Bundesliga next season. Of course, we're still playing for the title in the final match. But that is absolutely fantastic news. There were points in episode 2 or 3 where it didn't look like it was going to be possible, but we did it nonetheless. Paderborn haven't played their match yet. They've got a game in hand on us, which is a little bit annoying. But wait, actually, they have played it and they've drawn with, is that Fortuna Düsseldorf 3-3? Okay, so that actually makes things really interesting going into this final game of the season, because we're back in first. I have no idea how that's happened, but all we have to do now is beat FC Nuremberg and we've won the 2nd division title. I mean, have Paderborn just choked out of absolutely nowhere? Don't get me wrong, Düsseldorf are a good team, but to draw 3-3 in a match that important, that has put things absolutely massively in our favour, playing against the 14th ranked team in the entire division, FC Nuremberg. There's no doubt that they have some threat as well. You see there, Daphner scoring 4 goals in 3 games. That's going to be something we need to look out for. Morstadt into Becker. Come on, let's get an early goal. Morstadt can't get on the end of it. Jailson bringing it out of defence. Puchaz beats his man. Come on, let's get the cross in. We're going to chip it up near post, and Morstadt can't get anywhere near it. And Nuremberg are going to bring it out. Callas is pass deflected. Villasten is going to walk into the box, and he's stumbled over. And there is the return of the silly penalty kicks that we were doing earlier in the season. Daphner makes it 5 goals in 4 games, and we're behind in a game we really must win. Nuremberg on the attack. Castro turns. Let's not give away another penalty. There's so much danger coming from them so far. It's been a really disastrous first half. Giving away the silly penalty, and we've really not had many chances ourselves. We need to be on it in the second half. Eunice plays in Puchaz, but his touch is massive, but he wins it back. We're going to try and pull this back, but Horn and Reichert just deal with it. Kaputska, a few runs, one of them's Morstedt. We have Eunice, we have a toe poke, we have the equaliser. It's all back to play for now. We just need to get one more goal, and we've got 30 minutes to try and score it. Can we do it? Karaman, just a few minutes to go. Not much has happened really recently. And we've got Puchaz, but we can't play it through to Morstadt. Engels, playing as a winger, wins it brilliantly. This is the last attack of the season. Karaman into Engels. We've got Morstadt unmarked in the middle. Hit it, come on. Oh, he's been saved! The man that just can't miss has the most important shot of his season saved. We have just choked the title, but the fans are celebrating still. The players are celebrating on the pitch. There must have been a good result in the other game, because somehow I think Schalke have won the Bundesliga second division. I have no idea what's going on there. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But our first signing of the season, Katic, is going to lift the trophy. That means we're title champions. We are back in the Bundesliga next season. And things have gone so crazy in this episode. I thought we'd lost the title chance in the game against Paderborn. When I saw they drew, I thought maybe we had a shot. But they actually went on to lose to Kaiserslautern, the team in 8th place. I really don't know how this has happened. Holstein Kiel coming 3rd and playing in the promotion playoff, but that draw was better than they managed. They conceded 6 goals in their last 2 games to choke the title themselves. I mean, maybe they didn't really deserve it, but these players did. Kenan Karaman was our player of the season, the highest average overall rating of 7.9, but we're back at the top level for the first time in 3 years, but our work isn't done. We want to go further. We want to get back to Europe at a minimum, and that is going to be tough because we're going into this season with a 70 overall team, a whole 3 overall worse than the next worst team, and also 8 overall behind the league average. While we can't compete with Bayern or Leverkusen or Dortmund for signings, we can still improve a lot, and that's what the majority of this first episode of Season 2 is going to be about. Just like in Season 1, we're going to play 4 or 5 matches per episode, covering about 2 months in each one. And today we're going to be doing July and August of 2026. Of course, that means that the transfer window is open and we have a lot of improvements still to make. The first area we want to strengthen is goalkeeper. Karius was dodgy as hell last year and Podlec is nowhere near good enough. Thankfully though, we found a bunch of options. Biljo is probably the best keeper of these 5, but he's also injury prone, so I think we have to avoid him. Kaminski and Gerbic are the cheap options, and Leno and Unnestal are more expensive. I do like that Leno is actually the backup at Fulham to Verbruggen, so we're going to pick him up, at least maybe. We tried giving Karius as a backup replacement to replace Leno at Fulham, but our offer was actually just left in the balance. While we're waiting on Fulham to decide if we're allowed their backup goalkeeper, let's move on to the next position. Our current striker options are Karaman, Højlund and Engels. That's barely good enough for the second division. So a big striker has to come in, and I say big deliberately because all of our options here are actually massive. I really like the look and the value of Erik Botheim. He's quick enough, he's tall, he can play as a poacher, and available for under £4 million. Overall, I think that's a really good deal, even if he is actually only the 43rd highest rated striker in the Bundesliga for the coming season. Next, we needed at least 1 centre mid, probably 2, and for a long time I was thinking Mark Rocker was the answer, but then I saw this guy, Albert Sambi Lokonga, an Arsenal flop who had been released into the free agents. He was so good in the negotiations that he even told us the exact wage that he wanted, and now we have a new top-rated player. The last transfer work we absolutely had to do was find a new shadow striker. Eunice's contract had ended on the first day of July, so we had a gap to fill. Karaman could probably do it short term, but he'll start declining very soon. Yusuf Yaziki is probably the answer. He's younger, he's bigger, he's got a good pedigree, and even if Olympiacos negotiated a whole £50,000 more to our initial bid, I think he's also a bargain for under £4 million. In fact, I'd say that all 3 of our signings so far are total bargains. We've improved our squad massively for under 10 million. All we had to do now is wait on Bernd Leno and Fulham to see if we could pick up maybe another centre back or another centre midfielder from the transfer list. We did get a reply eventually, and 6.1 million for Leno might seem steep right now, but I think he'll stop at least 10 goals more than Karius would. Let's hope that that is enough difference for us to stay up. The £40,000 a week wage does hurt, that's twice the next highest paid player in our squad, but I think we are absolutely paying for his quality. The Bernd Leno deal finished on the same day as our first friendly, so of course we had to see how this team played on the pitch. Southampton are in a similar position to us, they've just been promoted and are looking to survive, as well as being probably the worst team in their division, so it was actually a really even test. Although, really, it was probably a good test of how good Leno was at picking the ball out of his own net. To say he had a pretty poor debut would be an understatement. Goal after goal would go in, and even though we did get a late comeback, we did succumb to a 5-3 defeat. I don't think anything could really get any worse for us right now. How about Manchester United bidding for our young centre-back, Jorn Hoffmann? Now, I wanted to keep him, but I just don't think it would be realistic to keep him. Even though it's a really low fee for his predicted potential, we should probably accept it. It actually hurt watching him leave the club. He was a future captain, but we really did need to improve all of our defence as the Southampton game had proved. Hoffmann wasn't ready, and we had a few ideas on how to replace him. Big Willy Orban was the first idea, but sadly, we couldn't loan him in because his contract was too short. Instead, we agreed to bring in Victor Lindelof temporarily, giving us two centre-backs with under 50 pace in a high-line tactic. Hopefully it works. On the other side of defence, where we used to play Bullet when we were in the second division, we're now going to be rotating him with Akpaguma, who has at least got a little bit of pace. We had about 2 weeks to let these noob signings settle into the club, and in that time, we also used them to reveal our new kit. I think it looks nice, but if you'd like to help me make Season 3's kit, then just shoot me a message. Anyway, our first game was against Stuttgart, a pretty good team who are usually in the top half of the Bundesliga. I don't think this year will be much different for them, and hopefully we can join them somewhere around mid-table. It's a really nice comparison for us early in the season. Although, if things don't go our way, it could also turn out to be quite a scary season coming up ahead of us. Love to see the new kit on show, new players, new transfer budget, hopefully a new season with some new success for Schalke is on the way. Kaputska gets it into Yaziki. Long shot. If he'd have found the corner there, who'd been a hero after just 8 minutes. We were good on corners last year. That's Katic. That's a near post header. We scored a few of them, and it's taken just 8 minutes on our return to go ahead against Stuttgart. What a leap that is. Straight in at the near post. Nothing the keeper can do. Salihovic turns us, gives it to Sturgio, and that is Nick Waldemida, the big German striker. Heads it straight past our goalkeeper. To be fair, I think Leno probably could have done better, but it was a really nice header. Demirovic into the box. Katic just gets a foot on it. I think that was getting pulled back to Waldemida again. Demirovic tries to get it to middle stat, but that's going to be half-time. 1-1. We will take this. We are probably not matching them for quality, but we are putting a lot of effort in. Demirovic, Katic, defending with Lindelof. I don't like that combination, really. Salihovic, he's been running the game in midfield. Keitel up to Demirovic, and it's a good catch from Leno. Triple sub then. We're going for this win. Karaman, Bullet, and Berg all coming on. A lot more pace on the pitch right now. Hopefully, we can maybe get a counter-attack. Waldemida into the box and into the top corner. Out of absolutely nowhere. One pass, our defence is left wide open, and it's a second goal. Waldemida, he could make it the hat-trick, but it was great goalkeeping from Leno, and Kadu can't score in the open net. Just a few seconds left. We're trying everything to attack, but that was so calm from their defender. Salihovic intercepted by Akpaguma, but that's a loss on day 1 of the season. Hopefully not a sign of things to come. Although we did actually limit them to not many chances, they were just so lethal in front of goal. So while Stuttgart are one of the better teams in the league, we can't really say the same about Holstein Kiel. We know all about them from last season. If you watched season 1, you know about them too. I think they smashed us at least once in the season, so hopefully that doesn't happen again, because if it does, we're pretty much already condemned to relegation. Katic using his pace, he doesn't really have much, but gets it out to Lindelof. Christiansen, good ball into Yaziki. Oh, and he's played it through into Bothheim. And that is a top corner finish. That is like watching us last season. What a finish. Good bit of one-touch play to get it through to the striker. And it's always nice to see a player score a first goal of the season. Hopefully the first of many. I'm not expecting another 20-goal season from our striker though. That is for sure. Sambi Lukanga into midfield. Kaputska, one-touch play again. And we tried to finesse it with Yaziki. I always get so nervous. Free kicks from this range. And, oh, I thought that was going top corner for a second. And it looks like so did the fans of Holstein Kiel. They've chested it round us. Can Akpaguma get out there? He can. Good defending. And the second time. And we'll clear it. Really good. Sabinski into Fetty Art. But that's a great tackle from Katic. That's half time. And I've been actually quite impressed with our defence so far. All of our defenders playing well. Lindelof's been covering, Katic winning a lot of tackles, and Akpoguma, as we've seen, also performing pretty well. Lukanga trying to 1-2 it with Bothheim, but we've got Christensen as well into the box. Let's try and hit this, and we can't even get the shot away. Just good defending. Gigovic gets it out to Kalati. Good save from Leno. Porath, the pressure is on us now. It seems like it's non-stop. Holstein Kiel attacks. Katic with a great block. And finally, we get on the ball. Gigovic dodges one and then a second Lukanga tackle. Gets it to Makino and he's round the defence. If he gets the shot right, if he didn't, that could have been a top corner special. We've seen so many of those last year. Puchaz, Kaputska, we've got a man. Let's put it across. Oh, it was the wrong decision. Eras there making no error. Porath dances round two. Floated cross into Machino, but thankfully Holstein Kiel's shooting has been really poor so far this season. Yes, love that from Lindelof. What a tackle. Bothheim trying to be creative, plays it through, but our attacking midfielder's miles offside. And that is actually going to be the end of the match. And also, surprisingly short, the end of this episode. Yes, there was only 2 games and the transfer window really to do in July and August. So yeah, that is going to be all that we have for today's episode. But next episode, we have a potentially really special time. Not only are we playing against Leverkusen, and we've seen their team, they spent 200 million on Pau Kabasi and Rudiger as well. I do have my eye on one returning player. Kolasinac is listed and available to return to the club that seems to love him or hate him depending on who you ask. His return depends on us raising money from somewhere else though, and we also have the small matter today of finally sending out our youth scouts for the coming season. We advance a few days and deadline day is finally here, and it really could change everything. We're going to slowly advance throughout it, hoping maybe we could get a couple more deals complete. We keep hitting advance and nothing really comes in until hour 4, which is an average size bid for Big Ron. Of course, we tried to take a bit more money from Burrow, but the deal collapses and that's all over. We keep advancing, but all we really get is news on how much Barcelona and Real Madrid have earned in the transfer market. Gavi and Kabasi going for that much money is crazy. But that's it, deadline day is done, and at 1 AM we finally receive an offer for Katic. He's not actually going to move until January, but we accept it. When that deal completes, we'll have enough money to strengthen in a few months' time in the January transfer window. But before we get to January, we're going to have to play a lot of games. This episode and next episode will have a combined 10 matches, the first of which is against a Leverkusen side that is hard to deny is one of the best in the entire world. They're absolutely favourites for the title ahead of Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, and Leipzig are miles back in 4th place. There's a real risk we're about to get absolutely smashed, but also, if we get a point, this could be the turning point of our entire season. I can't believe how good this Leverkusen squad looks like. They kept Wirtz, they've signed Havertz back, they've got Pau Kubasi at centre-back and Rudiger. This is going to be really difficult to try and break them down. Christensen into Bothheim, but we can't get the shot away. Kubasi passes it back to Alisson, who gets it back out to Rudiger. What a team. And again, I think if they had any other defence, if we were in the 2nd division still, that's probably a goal. Havertz turns, big gap ahead of him. Can we get across? Okay, decent defending, pushing him out wide, but he's hit it anyway, and he's found the back of the net. That was an insane finish from such a tight angle. Who knows, maybe Havertz is finally going to turn into the player that people thought he would have done when he was at Leverkusen last time. Bothheim was in behind, but Hincapi just too much pace. Matt O'Reilly goes past 1, goes past 2, gives it to Havertz into the box, Travella shot, and that is 2-0. Kabasi passes it forwards, but to be only 2-0 down at half-time is probably better than I thought it was going to be when we looked at their squad. Havertz, 2 shots, 2 goals. Let's hope he doesn't get a hat-trick. Andrich into Havertz, chips the goalkeeper. Leno was diving on the floor. There is the hat-trick. There's the same celebration for a 3rd time, and we've been absolutely destroyed. Yaziki, good ball out to Becker. It's a foot race, him versus Rudiger, and Rudiger has absolutely demolished him. O'Reilly into that wide position. Surely there's not going to be a threat from there. This time he passes it across, and there is Schaefer. They say he's the new Florian Wirtz. He's got the same birthday, he plays in the same positions, and he's got a huge amount of potential. Bothheim with a long shot. We've forced something from Alisson for the first time in the game. Christensen into Lindelof, gets the shot away, but blocked by Garcia. We're going to recycle this. Akpoguma into Yaziki, tries to finesse it, but Rudiger's there with the block this time. Okay, thankfully it's all over now. 4-0, and to be fair, last year we did lose 5-0 to a couple of teams that are much worse than this one from Bayer Leverkusen, so we can't be too downbeat. The best thing we could have to follow that game up is one of the worst teams in the division, and that's exactly what FC Cologne are. There's Holstein Kiel are the worst, we're the second worst, and these guys are probably the third worst. Before we play the game, we're going to make some big tactical changes. Not quite as radical as the ones we made last year, but we're going to play Sambi Lokonga alongside a holding midfielder to see if that can sort of unleash him and allow him to get a little bit further forwards. So, Botheim on the ball early in the game. We've got a good run, but we can't quite get the pass right. We scored so many in that way last season. Their winger gets it in, and it's a volley. There's that Lorenzo Luca playing up front. Big target man. Puchaz, Botheim, and at Sambi Lokonga, we tried to pull it across to Christensen. The wrong decision yet again. They're going to try and play it out from the back, but we've got on it. Sambi Lokonga finesses it past the goalkeeper into the open goal. I have no idea what they're doing there, but we will take that. Good positioning, good finish from Lokonga, and that's his first goal of the season. Hopefully the first of many. We're pressing with Lokonga. Oh, I thought we could get another one. They get a long shot away. Good save from Leno, keeping the clean sheet. Corner comes in. Yaziki heads it away to Hubers. Waldschmidt cuts inside, and Schmidt forces another good save from Leno. Kainz back into Lubicic, and they are all over us so far. Olsen, and we were intercepting that anyway. It's going to be half-time. We're taking the 1-0 lead in, and it's all because of that horrendous mistake from their goalkeeper. That was actually our only shot of the first half. Let's chip it in behind here for Botheim, and the ball has just skidded away. We're going to dive in anyway because it's quite fun to do and take the yellow card. Schallenberg into Lokonga, into Yaziki, into the box. That really should have been a goal. I think Younes would have had a decent chance. That feels like a good corner. It's Lindelof. It's an even better header. And we are 2-0 up against FC Cologne. Good. This is exactly what we needed. We needed to bounce back from the heavy defeat with a win. Lokonga, what a player he's been in this half. And it's a decent ball into Botheim. A little bit wide. But he has been absolutely taken out. That has to be a red card. I don't know why they've done it, because he had overrun that in the rain. And Martel has been sent off. One of their better players. That is good for the relegation fight. Can we get enough bend on this? We can't. We started it too close to the wall, and that's going to go out for a throw-in. Interesting to bring on Karaman off the bench, and he's actually making a pretty decent run here. Can we play him through? We can. Christensen into Karaman, into the last third of the pitch. Surely, finesse this across the goalkeeper. Oh, it's been saved. Puchaz into Schallenberg. Karaman, time for redemption. There we go. That's what we should have done the first time. Just blasted it in. And he could have been on 2 goals for the game. Looks like we're going to win this one, though. Probably 3-0 win. And they don't really have enough time to get a comeback. Downs into Lubcic. Good save from Leno. Good save again. And can we keep the clean sheet? Somehow we can. Bullet off the line. Bullet. Played well since he came on. And Siegmund, we've got a great run from Karaman there. And surely this is going to be 4-0. Can we bounce back from the 4-0 with a 4-0 of our own? Karaman hits the post. He could have had a hat-trick already. Kaputska wins it really high up the pitch. Are we going to play this across? I think we are. Karaman taps it in. There's this second of the game, but really could have been 4. We have absolutely crushed Cologne in this game. Confirmed a 4-0 win. No wonder the fans are loving it. The players are loving it on the pitch. The one thing that we're not loving, though, is that Yaziki is out for 2 months. One of our biggest signings, our most important creative player, and now we're going to have to play El Fayouzi or Karaman as that shadow striker. But could we find someone just as good in our youth academy? It's time to send out the scouts. We've gone Denmark, Germany and Turkey this time, looking for mainly centre midfielders, but I'll update you when those come back later in this video. But before then, we've got to play a game against Freiburg. This is the last day of September, and we are actually going to pick Karaman as our attacking midfielder for this game. He did score 2 goals last game. Of course, he should have scored 3, maybe 4 goals, but there's still the chance that he can perform at the Bundesliga level, and we're really going to need him to do that if we're going to win this match. Can we win the header? We can. Becker back to Katic. We're looking a lot more composed when it comes to defending now. That is for sure. Osterhager into Christensen. And we've got Sambi Lokonga making a run. Okay, he's ran around his man. And we've hit it from a pretty tight angle. That's a really nice finish, though. I don't know why he was bursting forwards from midfield, but those tactical changes looking like they're really benefiting our new star centre midfielder. Höhler with a very powerful shot, but Leno and Katic get it away. Back out to Osterhage. Gives it back to Höhler. Another powerful shot and another really good save from Leno. Out wide now. Becker into Sambi Lokanga again. We're just going to try and drive towards goal. Get a lucky rebound. Can we get around this guy? Can we finish? And that is a second of the game for Sambi Lokanga. If he can keep this up, he is exactly what we need. A powerful playmaker who can get forwards and can finish shots. I mean, that was just a really nice goal. And we've got a big gap in our midfield, but Leno charges at just the right time. That is an experienced bit of play. I think this is the last attack of the half, and Cologne have played it through to Höhler, and he's put it through the goalkeeper's legs, 2-1, and all of a sudden things have changed just before half-time. So the fans still loving it. Sambi Lokanga having one of the best games of his career, but can we hold on to this 2-1 lead? Sambi Lokanga, can he get a third? Long shot, takes a good save from Labrovic. It's going to be Puchaz taking the corner, and the opposite wing-back is going to be the one that heads it in. Becker with a nice leap, and I think that's probably our third or fourth corner goal of the season so far. Good save from Leno after Osterhage's shot. Corner, Günther, and we win the header with Akpaguma. Christensen, we've seen Puchaz, and this does seem like something we would have done in the second division. Puchaz charging towards the goal. He has a man in the middle. They've stopped tracking him. They've given up. They know what's about to happen. Puchaz doesn't need him. He just taps it past the goalkeeper. The fake shot put him on the floor, and it was just an easy finish from there. Great tackle that from Lindelof. Bullet with probably the last attack of the game. They clear it. Iheanacho's going to control it and turn, but there's nothing he can do with it. A 4-1 win, and all of a sudden, we're on a bit of a roll. After that Leverkusen game, I had no idea that we would be fourth in the table with this many points. 9 points from 5 games. I mean, Leverkusen still won 5 out of 5. I think they've only conceded 1. But we had such a big game coming up. Borussia Dortmund away. They've got, of course, one of the most passionate groups of fans in the league. They've got an absolutely amazing team. They've got some players in there that I really don't like watching, like Cucurella playing left back, but it's a lot stronger than our team, so it's going to be a really tough Ruhr derby. Christensen gets Becker into space. Can he get around Cucurella? He can, but then that's a late, silly challenge from Cucurella on a yellow card after 6 minutes, and is a free kick in a dangerous position. And we can't quite do anything with Botheim, but it comes out to Schallenberg. Is there going to be a funny mix-up? There's not. Schlotterbeck's just going to get that one clear. Bino Gittens into Ozcan. He gets around Katic twice from a tight angle. Good save from Leno. He's learnt there from that Havertz shot earlier, I think. Bayer gets it back to Ozcan into Bayer. Good block from Sambi Lokanga. He is everywhere in these last couple of games. Lokanga, that's a good ball into Schallenberg. Has he got the pace to get away from, I think that's Schlotterbeck, and no, he can't. Schlotterbeck just gets it clear. We are very even with them so far in this half, but Bayer's into the box, and it's a shot across the keeper, top corner. I think Leno could have done better with that. It was borderline at him. Didn't really have to dive, just needed stronger wrists. But that's his 4th goal in 5 games. What amazing form from Maxi Bayer. Christensen turns. And we have Botheim. Can we get a shot away? Off the post and off the defender's leg. Corner comes in. Botheim goes for the spectacular finish. The bicycle kick. Karius is loving it. The fans are loving it. That is one of the all-time Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke goals. And it's just scored just before half-time. It's been a very even first half. We're even on shots, possession, passes. Adeyemi's played in Bayer. He's got around Katic twice. We're going to have to take him down. Come on, Lindelof. We had to do it. I don't think it's a red card, and we have a chance to actually save the penalty. I think he would have just tapped it in if we didn't do that. Adeyemi has hit the crossbar. And then Becker gets it cleared. Katic clears it further. Oh, that is insane. Sambi Lokanga. Karaman, he's got around Schlotterbeck. Come on, Karaman into the box, from the edge of the box. Good save from Kobel. I think this is our last attack of the game. Becker gets it into Berg. We've got a good run from Højlund. He was through, and the referee has blown his whistle. I think he was onside. I'll put a replay on, but yeah, he was surely onside there. That is huge drama at the end of the derby game. Surprisingly, we have Player of the Month in Sambi Lakanga, and he would also play a part in our next 2 games, a win against FC Union Berlin and a draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's been a hero, but we have chance to try and recruit 2 more. This Nicholas Simon guy looks absolutely unreal, 66 overall, and Elias Schroeder as well, 67 overall, both of them 17 years old. If we develop them right, I think those 2 could be first team players by the start of next season. But before we do anything with them, we have another huge game. We've already played Dortmund, they were the last match that we just looked at, but the last match of October is also a cup game against Borussia Dortmund. However, we've played them twice away. This is the first time that they have come to the Veitlands Arena in Gelsenkirchen. And it's a great time to get the banner out because for the first time, we're not cringing it up against some tiny team in the second division, we're showing it to our rivals. Katic with a massive tackle on Willy Nomto. Schallenberg got a bit of space out here for El Fauzi, and I think that's a good run from Botheim. We found him. Can he have the pace? He can, and the finish goes just wide of the right post. And Mecha into Nomto. We've got a big gap. Let's try and cover it with Katic. We do. Good defending, but we've lost it straight to Adeyemi, and just gets it out of his feet. Smashes it top corner. We're behind in the second Ruhr derby of the season, but we got an equaliser last time. Maybe we can do the same again. Bayer through one-on-one, good save from Leno. That used his whole body there to stop that shot. Cucurella, yes. Revenge for what he did on Becker in the last game. Then Becker gets one in as well. Oh, we love it. Shame he wasn't injured. Nomto, good chip forward to Ozcan. And we've been beaten again. Oh, that's just annoying. It was such a good touch. Gets it out of his feet. And then makes it 2-0 just before half-time as well. That changes everything for the second half. Do we go more attacking or do we just try and make sure it's not an embarrassing scoreline? Botheim, Schallenberg, good play. Karaman's decided to slide rather than hit the ball. Oh, I think if he'd have hit it, he could have won a penalty. And oh, we get another hit in on Cucurella. Karaman really not playing too well in this game. Sambi Lakanga into El Fauzi. Gets away from Cucurella, gets into the box. El Fauzi, he scored against Dortmund last season, but can't do it this year, unfortunately. Becker, a lot of space out here. Can we get around Cucurella? We don't need to. We try and pull it back, but it just seems like Dortmund are so defensively resolute. Bayer's through. We're going to try and charge him, but Leno saves it. Oh, and gets the rebound as well. I thought that was in. What have we done? We have absolutely done a clanger. That is going on one of those VHS tapes of big goalkeeping mistakes. Katic with a good stop, and thankfully the referee is going to end our misery. A 3-0 defeat in a rivalry game. We find ourselves up in 5th place, 1 point behind Dortmund in 3rd, despite having the second worst team in the German football first division. If you factor in our Yaziki and Christensen injuries, we might even be the worst team in the division, but despite the challenge, we are putting in consistently good results. Mainz will be another tough test, but there's no easy games in this division, and other than their 83 rated Cucho Hernandez, they're pretty average. If we can keep him quiet, we have a chance. So, game kicks off in front of our own fans, and I'm not actually that impressed by Mainz's squad from what I've seen, so I think we have a decent chance of winning this. Torres tries to play it through, but Bullet has enough pace. That's why we've brought him in as that right centre-back. Schallenberg gives it to Karaman, and there's a lot of room here for Botheim to run into. Has he got the strength? He has. He's got away from his defender, into the box, and that is 1-0. That's like a classic second division goal from last year. Counter-attack from the corner, one pass through, and Botheim was always going to score that one. 4 goals in 9 matches now for the Norwegian striker. At the start, I thought he was a flop, but he is actually starting to put some decent performances in. And that was Botheim on the floor, and yes, he's also got a knock. Hopefully it's not too bad. We've got Højlund to come on, who's of course nowhere near as good, but these injuries, man, they need to stop. Richter into the box from a tight angle. Leno palms it to Bullet, and that's a decent enough clearance. Leno, let's just pass it around the back, finish the half off 1-0 up. Lindelof runs into midfield, and there is the half-time whistle. 1-0, good performance, but annoying that we've got another injury. We have kept Cucho quiet though, which was one of the main objectives of the first half. El Fauzi turning on the ball, passes it into Sambi Lakanga, into Schallenberg. Højlund, we've got El Fauzi making another run. Good ball from Højlund, Fauzi into the box, and that is an absolute screamer. On his right foot, across the goalkeeper from just on the edge of the box. That is 2-0, and we're pretty set fair in this game. Cucho with the back heel into Kraus, into Kaishu. Sambi Lakanga misses a tackle. There's a big gap in there, and Chucho Hernandez misses the target. Murillo into Dewsbury Hall. Just joined them from Chelsea. That is great defending from Akpaguma, but he's lost it back to Dewsbury Hall. Cucho could have made it 2-2 there if he'd have scored both of his chances. That's a big tackle there. And we've got another man down. The referee's just going to stop the game. He's going to book Lakanga for something that happened earlier. And that's Siegmund, our third choice attacking midfielder. That's 3 of them are now out injured. Cucho trying to dance through. He gets around Bullet. He's through a goal in the last minute. It's a goal, but I don't think that it's going to mean anything because we're just going to kick off and the referee is going to end the game. Yep, there she goes. She blows her whistle. We get the win, but another 2 injuries. We can't keep this up. Right, so despite the result, that isn't a great match. 2 more injuries to add to the pile. Siegmund isn't that important, but to lose our best striker for 2 months is going to be brutal. It is sad that all of Siegmund's potential we paid so much for has basically been wasted though. By the time he's back, we'll probably have improved the rest of the squad, and I'm a bit concerned that we'll actually leave him behind. It's not great news for his young career. Our depleted Royal Blues are now facing Rasenballsport Leipzig next, definitely not Red Bull. There's a real risk that a slide down the table could start in this match, with Bayern Munich, Wolfsburg, and also a pretty good Augsburg side coming up very soon. But we've defied the odds before, so we're just going to have to do it again. I suppose the good news is, in the 2 weeks since we last played a match, that we have got a few players back, like Yaziki. Thankfully, he wasn't called up for the national team squad, so he is back and fit for this game against Leipzig. Xavi Simons dominating the play. I think he's probably at his potential. Good tackle from Lindelof, but it's fallen back to Sesko. Good block from Akpaguma. Yaziki playing it through to Karaman. He's probably not best suited to a striker. I think Botheim would have managed to get to that before Glasky. Bonnie into Sesko. That's a really good strike partnership. And there is Bonnie, and there is 1-0. That's the first goal of the game, 21 minutes in. That was absolutely lethal from Leipzig. Just a couple of passes, a little bit of a strike partnership, and that's Bonnie's 6th goal in the first 9 matches of this season. Schallenberg into Sambi Lakanga. That's Karaman through on goal. Can we equalise straight away? That is a really nice little chip over Peter Galaski. That's really calm play for someone that doesn't have much match sharpness and hasn't played too much this season. Xavi Simons playing a little bit deeper, but Schallenberg has bullied him there. And that's Sambi Lakanga on the ball. If you get this pass right, we could be through. Karaman was just offside. I think it was a little bit one of his toes, actually. Bonnie trying to play it through to Nusa. Great save from Leno. Goes out for a corner. Sesko playing out wide. You don't want him to be the one crossing it in. Well won by Bullet. If Sesko's on the other end, that could have been 2-1. Simmons, good turn. What a Trivela, and another great save from Leno. Becker deflects into Xavi Simons, but Akpaguma wins it off Sesko. We clear it, and we're going in level at halftime. We would absolutely have taken that. We're relying on Karaman, someone that really should not be starting matches in the Bundesliga, to try and win us this match. Nusa has the ball out wide after a corner. A little bit of trickery. He's got a few options. Can we close that gap? We can't. And Bonnie gets there before we can slide in. That is 2-1. His 2nd goal of the game. Yaziki, Sambi Lakanga, Karaman. We were trying to do that quick link-up play, but it didn't quite come off. Yaziki, we tried to play it through to Karaman. But on the other side, we have El Fauzi. Are we going to pull this across? Of course we are. We need that goal. We need the equaliser. Karaman with his 2nd of the game. And all of a sudden, if one of these 2 players, Bonnie or Karaman, gets the hat-trick, you would imagine it probably would win the game. Last few seconds. I think the referee's about to blow the whistle. But Yaziki's played through Karaman. Is he onside this time? Well, the flag's not gone up. Into the box, let's blast it, and there it is. 3-2, Karaman puts us back ahead. His first hat-trick in the Bundesliga, I think, ever. We had to get that pass right, and oh my god, it was absolutely spot on. The run into the box was amazing. He just had enough pace, and the finish was there. We needed this win. This is huge. It puts us in the top 4 of the table. I don't think we're going to stay there, but oh my god, what a start to the season. You know, I've been giving it some thoughts, and I think that our problems are basically all up front. Our midfield is weak, sure, but our depth at striker is awful. If we lose Karaman at any point before the transfer window, I just don't think that Højlund can do it. Maybe that's where we're going to spend the budget that we're going to make in the next couple of weeks. I gotta say though, I do wish we had Bayern Munich's depth. They have Osimhen, who's keeping Kane in the reserves. Talk about crazy deep striker depth. I always love playing against these absolutely amazing teams. It's a perfect test to see how good you are at the game, but also how good your squad is compared to people like Alphonso Davies. Davies into Osimhen, turns away from goal. Musiala, that's a point-blank save, and that was within 5 minutes. They were already threatening our goal. It's a great ball from Becker, but has Yaziki got the pace to get away from Van Dijk and Upamecano? What a combination. Van Dijk on the ball. One pass, and now our entire midfield has been bypassed. Pavlovic, Musiala with the trick, and what a finish that is to smash it past Leno. That was insane. Straight from Van Dijk into Pavlovic, into Musiala, and their attacking midfielder puts them ahead. Osimhen trying to play Musiala in, but yeah, he was miles offside. Yaziki. Can we do what Musiala could with him? Well, Schallenberg's got it. He's played in Karaman, and this guy is on fire. That's his 4th goal in 2 games. Could we potentially be about to upset Bayern Munich? Well, our squad is nowhere near them, but we have the passion. We got the home crowd. Maybe we actually could. Virgil van Dijk on the ball in midfield. Straight through to Musiala yet again. Where is our holding midfield? It's a back heel into Osimhen. And he finds the top corner. We were only level for a matter of seconds. Osimhen, he gets past Akbagumo into the box. That was so acrobatic from Leno. Pavlovic. Musiala turns. He's got Osimhen in. I think he was probably offside. He was. The referee's going to call it there for half-time. And we've only had the single shot. We've only done 34 passes. We have been absolutely dominated by Bayern Munich. Osimhen. Good tackle from Schallenberg, but Osimhen's got it again. Thank God he can't time his runs in this game. Osimhen doesn't need to time his run because he's just going to barge straight through us. One-on-one with keeper. Leno again with a top-class save. Pavlovic gets the ball stolen off him, but Moussa Diaby, recent signing, gets it and finds the top corner. He was off balance running away from goal, but the finish was perfect. Musiala, and it's all Bayern Munich right now. Hopefully we don't concede a 4th. Well, Musiala into Osimhen, one-on-one. Okay, Leno can't stop them all. 4-1 to Bayern Munich. Fair enough result, to be fair. Alphonso Davies, we've just nailed him there. And I don't like the look of this. He's starting to try and fight Musiala. It's a 90th minute red card for absolutely no reason from big Ron Schallenberg. So that's the end of the game. Thank God that is over, man. So that's not the most surprising result really, is it? But one good thing did come of it. I'd never heard of Bayern Munich's substitute striker Sieb before, but I searched him, and it turns out his contract is expiring. I also noticed a couple of others in their squad, but I might keep those secret for next episode. Let's just say, I'm interested in a huge name returning to Schalke. After listing everyone who had an expiring contract, it was time to play the last game of the episode against Wolfsburg. A few of our injured players are actually back now, so let's just hope we can stay fit for the rest of the episode and for the rest of the season. Come on, we can get another win in this game. I don't think Wolfsburg are actually that good. And we've gone for the header and someone stayed on the floor. Surely not another injury, man. Good tackle from Lindelof. Kaputska gets on it and the referee confirms what we didn't want to see. Did we accidentally fire all of our physios or something because we have yet another injury in an attacking position? Karaman this time, let's hope that it isn't too serious. Paredes into Darwin Nunez. And that's a really good ball from Darwin Nunez into Max Arnold. Oh, and Leno's just spilt it through him. It's gone in off the post and we're 1-0 down. That is kind of embarrassing goalkeeping, to be fair. Sambi. He's seen Polat, the young attacking midfielder from our academy. Somehow he's got the pace. I did not think he would. He's got the finish as well. I definitely didn't think that was going to result in a goal. But what a bit of play that is from Polat. Maybe he's the man that we needed to promote into our first team. They're running down the wing. Great defender from Bullet. And we can try and counter-attack. Sambi Lakanga. This time we've gone to Højlund instead of Polat. And he's knocked his man off the ball, finessed this into the far corner. It's a great save that is from Grabara. Sambi Lakanga's corner comes in. Polat, come on, we're going to hit this. Ooh, I think it was deflected, but that could easily have been his second of the game. Becker into Polat. Really bad pass, but it doesn't matter because that's half-time. 1-1. Again, with all of our injuries, we probably would take that. We've limited Wolfsburg to just a single shot in that first half as well. Buchaz, can he get around his fullback? He can. Can he get the cross in? He can. I think that was Yaziki there trying to go for the header. Buchaz as well. Again, he's been absolutely dominating his defender. And Højlund this time can find the net. Great finish across the goalkeeper from Højlund. It's another one. He doesn't play much, but when he comes in, he does tend to score goals. And that's Arnold on the edge of the box. He's floated one, and it's gone straight in the top corner. That was such a perfect finish. It didn't have a lot of power, but the precision on that was immense. Ball now. And Lindelof has missed his tackle. Vitali Janelt, even Bullet with all of his pace can't get there. That is 3-2, and it feels really unlucky to be behind. Paredes playing in Darwin Núñez. Man, if we had someone like Núñez, well, to be fair, his finishing's not great, but if we had someone who could run onto balls like that, we would win so many more games. Polat into Kaputska. We can't get the pass right. Think that was our last chance. Roger gives it to Svanberg. And that is it. We have lost to Wolfsburg in what feels like quite an unlucky match. We could easily have got a 2-2 there, maybe even a 3-2 to ourselves, but Maxi Arnold was absolutely on fire. He's a bit of a one-club man, I think. So, that is the last match we're going to play in today's episode. In fact, we would have one more in the month. It was against Augsburg, which we went on to lose. And that sums up the month, really. A 4-1, a 3-2, and a 3-1 loss. So there's definitely room to improve this team in the January transfer window, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Welcome to January in Germany, and it's finally time to improve our squad again, to build a bit more depth and hopefully get rid of some of those guys that are still hanging on from when we were a second division club. I think really looking at our squad, we need an attacking midfielder, probably a centre midfielder, and possibly a striker. So let's head to the transfer market and see what we can find. We're looking through the clubs that might have a spare attacking midfielder. I did come across Crystal Palace. They've got Soboslai, Eze, Matthias Franke and Kamada. So we did look into buying the Japanese international. Sadly though, he was just too expensive. While we were browsing through the Premier League, we also had a look how our hero from last year, Moorstedt, was getting on. Turns out he's in the Chelsea reserves and actually going down in ratings. That's really sad for him. We spent so much time looking for this attacking midfielder, and in the second division of Germany, I think we found our first true bargain. Danny De Witt has really odd stats. He's got really good physicals, but he's quite slow. He's really good at defending, but plays as an attacking midfielder. With one position change, I think we might have found the new perfect holding midfielder for our side. He comes in with a match ban, so he's obviously been a naughty boy at his last club, but we just take 2 weeks to retrain him to a centre mid, and by then, his ban will be over and he can come in to anchor our midfield. The best thing about him is that he was so cheap that it means we can now go all out on a new attacking midfielder. To be honest, the player I really wanted to anchor our midfield was actually Leon Goretzka. I'd already scouted him, I found out his wages and contract terms, but then I realised how much Schalke fans hate him. Let me know what you think I should do in the comments with him. Comment yes Leon if you want me to sign him, or no Leon if you think we should avoid. We'll decide what to do with him in the summer when his contract ends at Bayern Munich. But back to January, and we need an attacking midfielder. We had a few options here. We could go in for Kamada, we could raid the Austrian league for Seidel, but the guy I liked the most was Dominik Fitz. He's probably not going to improve any more than this, but he is so good for the price. I'm not a huge fan of doing swap deals for realism, but Tobias Christensen going to Austria Vienna to replace someone that we've then given them £5.5 million for did seem like it was a fair deal. It's actually quite nice to go into a match knowing we have a Bundesliga class attacker. The first time we could say that for a long time as Schalke manager. Kicking off then, and we are actually quite nervous because Frankfurt are a really good team this season. Larson, can he hit it across the goalkeeper? He can't. Good save from Leno, but it was basically straight at him. Can we press them high? Sambi Lakanga from midfield. We can. Let's hit this from outside the box. Forced a good save and a dangerous corner maybe. Puchaz and Becker missed it, I think, and they're going to get that one clear. Uzun into Matanovic. Gets inside, and that's more like what you'd expect from those regions. Too many of them go in the top corner. I think we actually have less spending power than Club Brugge somehow. Good turn, good pass from Fitz. And can Botheim get into the box? He can. Can we shoot across the goalkeeper? He was getting pressured way too much by the centre-back. Frankfurt on the attack, trying to get it out wide, but that is a 0-0 first half. A rarity to not see a single goal, but Matanovic is having an absolute stinker by the looks of it. We win the header, but it goes to Aronson in midfield. He flicks it up. Sambi can't get there. Chaibi from outside the box. Acrobatic camera save there from Leno, to be fair. Fits on the ball. We were expecting a little bit more from him, but he has been really good when he gets on the ball. Can we do a trademark Kaputska long shot? No, blocked this time, but we're going to recycle it with Akpaguma. Sambi back to Kaputska. Can we get the shot away this time? No, Aronson gets a foot in instead. Here's the American running forwards. And I think that's it. He's turned around. That's going to be a 0-0. One of the first 0-0s of the season. And not probably what you would expect when we've just signed a brand new star attacker. So yeah, January's not been too good for us so far. We got 2 points, including a game against second bottom Paderborn. But De Witt is back in. Fitz is now finally match sharp. And our next game is against Holstein Kiel. They got promoted with us. Currently, they've drawn 3 out of 18 games and lost the other 15. So, if there's ever a match that we expect to win in the Bundesliga, it is probably this match right here. Kicking off, and we need to make sure we don't get complacent, to be fair. Fitz on the ball, gets it out to Puchaz, gets away from his marker. This is so much easier than Frankfurt. Pulls it back. De Witt into Yaziki. Oh, he's miles off target with that. Becker against his former club. Fitz, can we turn? Get it to Botheim. We can. Surely we are going to bag here. Or Toledo with a good save. Or more of a bad finish, I guess. Botheim using his pace to get away from the Kiel defenders. We can pull it across to Fitz. And somehow he gets his foot there. A really nice finish. Not really what we were expecting when we pulled it across. It was a lot closer than it should have been. But 1-0, we will take that. Zek has the ball. Forward to Kalati. That's Fite Arp from outside the box. What a goal! Maybe we underestimated Kiel a little bit. Yaziki, he's got no man in front of him. Let's just keep running. And then hit it across the goalie. We've hit the post, but Fitz is there. And that's his second goal of his career for Schalke. And also second goal of the game. Could he match Karaman from earlier in the season and bag a hat-trick? Well, if there's ever a game he's going to do it, it's probably this one. What the hell was that? I think when we clear this, it's going to be half-time. 2-1 lead. We will take that. Botheim wins the header. Yaziki controls it. And yes, half-time. Sambi Lakanga winning the ball high. Changing the tactics with him was such a good decision. And then Fitz is going to smash one. This guy just cannot miss. That's his hat-trick. All 3 of the goals, pretty decent finishes to be fair. This one from just outside of the box. Using the Bundesliga camera right there. Goalkeeper didn't really use his hands to be fair. Botheim to De Witt. Can we get a first goal with him? He can finish to say he's playing centre mid. Puchaz cut inside. Gets it to Sambi Lakanga somehow. Again, some room for Fitz. Nearly a 4th goal of the game. We're going to sub him off. Keep him fresh. You know what we're like with injuries recently. We don't want him to get injured. Looks like Kiel are going to take the 3-1 loss. Fair enough. They are used to losing. They know how to manage the games. And yeah, they're just going to pass it around the back to the end. And there we have it. Another win. Another step closer to potentially getting into Europe. The season just gets more interesting. So it's our 4th deadline day as Schalke manager. I'm not expecting any bids big enough to have to accept. And we really don't want to sign anyone either. So hopefully it's just a quiet day. We're going to keep advancing time, maybe checking out the biggest transfers of the month and see what happens. And that's exactly what we did until just 3 hours were left on the clock. We received a 6.1 million bid from Velez for Sanchez, and that just has to be accepted. That leaves us, after he leaves, with just 1 hour to replace him. First of all, we tried to loan to buy Jamie Lawrence, a German player who plays in Switzerland, but they wouldn't let us attach a permanent fee. I looked at so many centre-backs in that hour. The one I liked the most was actually Lee Han Boam. His stats are worse than Lawrence, but his playstyles are perfect for a centre-back at this level. Again, we tried to negotiate, but they just would not agree. This was turning into a deadline day nightmare. After spending so much time looking for a new centre-back, I didn't have much choice really. I had to try and get Kolasinac back. We agreed an affordable transfer fee, and things were looking quite good. But yet again, we just could not agree on a wage. We have 5 centre-backs technically in our squad, so I guess we could survive without signing one, but one injury and we're pretty screwed. Our last resort with the last few seconds of deadline day was to promote Frenzner from our academy, a player that's really not ready, but does have an absolute huge amount of potential. With one last check of the transfer list, we decided to give up. We're just going to have to stick with how things are now for the next 6 months. With that, we decide to finish deadline day, and even though we've just sold one backup defender for £6 million, I feel like our squad somehow has got a lot weaker. To be fair, we only had to wait a couple of days to find out if it really had when we were playing against FC Köln on the 6th of February. Cologne coming down the left wing, Bullet steps in, okay, maybe he could step up. He's low rated, but he has got really good stats. Fitz with the incisive pass attempt, and he nearly closed down the goalkeeper there. We've lost the header. That's the flaw of having Bullet in there, and Sambi Lakanga misses the interception. Then the defensive awareness isn't there. That shows how fast everything can change. We were in control of this game, and 2 touches, 2 mistakes later, we're now behind. Fitz with a good pass into Botheim. We nearly played him in, but the ball was just stolen off our toe. Fitz on the ball, dances around 2, dances around 3, and he's got the strength to hold off the defender. They dive in, they miss it. And there we go, a 4th goal of the season for Fitz. You can safely say that I don't think Christensen would have been able to do something like that. The pace to get away from his man, the strength to hold him off, and the finish. Complete package from Fitz. Cardona, Lubcic, and that referee draws a close to a pretty boring first half, to be fair. Other than the goal, not too much going on. Martel, the man that got sent off in the previous match, loses it to Puchaz, into Botheim. Let's finesse this far post. That is all because of Puchaz winning the ball and then playing the great pass through to our striker. He celebrates, but really, that was all about the defence. What a tackle from Becker, and it's fallen very luckily to Botheim. Can we do the same again? Through on goal. That is proof that sometimes defence can be the best form of attack. What a tackle from Becker, and an even better finish. Surely we are not going to do it again. Yaziki is 3-on-1. We have Fitz, we have Botheim. We're going to hit this. I think really we probably should have played it across one more, and Fitz nearly gets to the rebound anyway. Finally an attack for Cologne. Finally a good save from Leno, but we dived in with Lindelof. That's fair enough. It's been a while since we gave away a penalty. We're diving left, and he goes right. The last few minutes of this match just got a lot more tense. Yaziki, can we turn our man? There's a lot of space. Might as well just hit it. And what a decision that was. Yaziki with his first goal for the club. And one to remember. So the referee blows their whistle, and that is it. Another win for the boys. What a performance. So after that game, I actually think we're in with a decent possibility of finishing in the top 7. The top 6 are all guaranteed Europe in the Bundesliga, and I think Dortmund are probably too far ahead to catch in 6th place. So we just have to hope that one of those top 6 can win the cup. That means that 7th place becomes the Conference League. Frankfurt winning the cup would be ideal, but if they fall, then that's the only time we'll ever be cheering for Leverkusen, Dortmund or Bayern to win something. Sadly though, of course I can't show you every match of the season, and we would actually go on to lose 1-0 to Freiburg. But the next game was yet another derby match against Borussia Dortmund. We still haven't actually beaten them, and this is our 4th attempt, our 2nd one at home, and I think probably the best chance we've had to actually get one over on our big rivals. Schlotterbeck and Dortmund playing some good possession. Marmouche must be a summer signing, has got away, and it's a good tip from Leno. We win the header, but it's gone to Campbell. Is that going in? And no, it's just missing to the right. Puchaz, has he got the pace to get away from his man? He has a bit of trickery. We get the cross in, and Anton has to head it behind for a corner. Marmouche, Adiemi, there is so much pace, and that is not what we want. But Bullet has some pace of his own. He gets marking, but Adiemi gets away from him and rifles it home. We could have probably defended a little bit better there. Do it. Into Fitz. Can he get away from his man? He can. And we nearly put it through his legs. And we get a rebound. And it goes just wide. We really could be level. You can see the disappointment on Fitz's face. Ball goes out to Adiemi. Is he going to do the same again? No, it's a poor touch. And the referee calls it for half time. Can we build up the play a little bit with Leno from the back? Well, we give it to Lindelof. Into midfield to De Witt. Got a couple of men out wide. Let's try and get it out to Becker. And we have been nailed off the ball. And Kukureya's probably fouled us. No. De Witt has been injured. Not what we wanted. Hopefully that isn't long term. Cucurella. Fitz has won it off him, and now we can counter-attack. Berg gets the pass right, but we got the run timed just wrong. Okay, let's have another chance. We see Puchaz out on the left. Surely we're not offside this time. We were about to pull that across. That was so close. I think Botheim was onside too. Bullet running against Cucurella. Gets away from him. But we can't drive into the box. We've got Fitz here. We've got a good pass into Yaziki. And he's missed. Oh my god. This guy. He needs to do some finishing lessons. He is so frustrating. Kobal is going to time waste. Bullet's going to win the header. Can we have one last attack? The referee's not going to let us. She blows her whistle, and we've lost yet again to Borussia Dortmund. They're just too good. Before the Mönchengladbach game, I realised it's been ages since we checked on the academy. The scouts haven't really found anyone amazing since the last checkup, but Schroeder and Simon look like they're good enough to now contribute. We also promoted Hansen, but his potential doesn't look that good. Still, maybe he can provide some cover at some point, as the other two are more likely to play matches. Anyway, with all of them on the bench, it's time to play game 1 of the final 10. If we can go unbeaten this month, then we have a really good shot of that 7th place. We're playing against so many teams that are around us, Mönchengladbach being one of them. Really, it doesn't matter too much if we don't win, it just matters that we don't lose, so a draw isn't really the end of the world. Yaziki turns into Botheim. We've got a good run from Fitz, but is that Mark Gahey with a good interception? Ngumu has been absolutely nailed by Puchaz, but gets up so fast. Richarlison, this is such a strange team. We can't block the shot from Stoger, and we're 1-0 down already. We need to get the equaliser, like we said. We just can't lose this match. Puchaz has been beaten against. Stoger chips it to Henry at the back post. He was offside and only found the side netting. DeWitt, we've got a couple of runners. Fitz is one of them. We found Botheim. He's in space. He's onside as well, which is quite surprising. And he just about holds off Mark Gahey. There is the equaliser. Good stuff from Botheim. That's what we bought him in for. Running in behind. Playing like Haaland used to do when he was in the Bundesliga. Again, they've got down the left-hand side. Are they going to try and chip across up? They're not. Goes back to Richarlison. And that's why we've got DeWitt in there. His defensive awareness is absolutely amazing. Can we defend the corner? Well, they're going to go short to Dodo. He gets around Puchaz. There's not going to be a counter-attack goal here, I don't think. Good interception from Sambi. If we win this tackle, there we go. And we can play it to safety. Ball comes back out to Becker. We win the header, but that's half-time. We're being kind of dominated down the wings, but hopefully we can hold off and maybe get a second goal in this second half. Akpagumo. Bit of lag. And the game has actually just crashed. Not sure what's going on. Sadly, the same crash happened the next time I played the match too. I really don't know why it's happening. It always happens at the exact same minute, the same person coming up near the clock, and the same crash to desktop. Both games were 1-1, so I simulated the game until I got that result. And we'll just have to hope that the Vanessa Giles curse never happens again. Thankfully, it didn't take long to get the 1-1 result, but annoyingly, we did get another injury. It's only Donkor though, so who really cares? We were actually having quite a nice game against Mainz. Callas did get an early red card, but it was fun. Fresner was playing really well on his debut, and guess who came back? Vanessa Giles. This time we crashed the desktop yet again, and we had to take permanent action. Well, thanks to my computer science degree, we sent her to the Shadow Realm, totally deleting her from the game, and this did actually fix it for good. Let's play this game against Mainz again, knowing that we fixed things once and for all. I've got to say, I wasn't expecting our biggest rival of the season to be a woman footballer who plays in Toronto, but I guess it is a good chance to replay the match and hopefully start off a little bit better than we did last time. Hopefully you're not too bothered by me restarting, but we didn't really have too much of the choice. Amiri has absolutely done us there. We've clattered into our own defender. He's done a spin, and then he's done a finesse. That was such a sick goal from Amiri. Yeah, we are absolutely ruined by that little drag back. Yaziki into Akpaguma from defence. Yaziki passes it into Sambi, and that is a great finesse into the top corner. We've been trying to do them all season long, and that's the first one that we've actually been able to pull off. Sana Fernandez hits it off the crossbar. Sambi recovers it, but then Sana gets it back and thankfully misses the target altogether. Amiri, this guy's been one of the hardest players we've played against. Dewsbury Hall, what's he doing playing for Mainz? DeWitt gets it out to Puchaz. A little bit of space. We get it towards Yaziki. Can we tap it in back post? We can't. Fitz was nearly on the end of it. So that's half time. 1-1 yet again. I mean, we did say we don't want to lose matches, but drawing every game wouldn't be that good for us either. Fitz cuts inside. We've got Bothheim. Can we find him? We don't need to. We go outside the defender. We hit it across the goalkeeper. But Zentner is more than good enough to stop that. Fitz again. We had Bothheim. We got the pass all wrong, but we could possibly play it through to Puchaz. We can. Now we've got a lot of room to run into. Surely this is going to be the winner. Oh, Zentner with another great save. What a performance from him. Sambi, good long pass into Yaziki. Can't quite first time pass it into Bothheim though. Sambi again. What a match he's had. And he's been taken down. Hopefully that's not an injury. No. Looks like he's just annoyed. Puchaz into Lakango. Into Kalas. What's he doing forwards? Anyone else? I think we had a decent chance of scoring. Nebel. Dewsbury Hall. Kalas with a good interception. Do we have time for one last attack? We're going to try. But no, Schroeder can't find Simon. And that is the end of the game. 1-1 yet again. Probably a little bit more even than the other matches, but still not the worst result. Yeah, not the worst result at all. We are still in 7th place and still have a decent chance, if we can just win a couple of games in a row, to start pulling away from Stuttgart and Hoffenheim and Mönchengladbach in 8th place. And this is a great chance to do it. I don't know what kind of football Hoffenheim are going to hit us with, but Bischoff looks like he's going to try and dribble. We can see Gift Orban had a good bit of space, but good defending from us. Bischoff again. Can we get Puchaz to cover? Boateng, we don't need him. Leno with a strong save, and we are getting absolutely battered. Puchaz, bit of space to run into. They don't seem too interested, so let's just try and drive into the box, cut inside, and maybe shoot far post. Oh, it was deflected. Otherwise, I think that possibly could have beaten Baumann. Let's try it again. Okay, that is not so good. Oh, we've nailed Baumann as well. Stach, what a man he is. He's so strong, and that's half-time. 0-0, and Anton Stach has been by far man of the match. He's shut down almost every one of our attacks, but they haven't really had any themselves either. Becker. He's got Fitz. We've got Bothheim trying to make a run, but it's a really bad run. But Fitz has then somehow recovered the ball from on the floor. Can he get around Stach? He can't. Oh, I thought he was going to get the shot away. I thought that was it. David into Yaziki. Can he shoot? No, he can't. Stach is the one that recovers it yet again. Gift Orban. This guy's got a lot of pace. He's got a hole in front of him. But Leno can stop it, and Lindelof just about scrambles it clear. Good tackle from David. Can Fitz make something from this? He gives it to Bothheim. We try and turn, but again, Hoffenheim, they're just so good at defending. I just can't get around them. Becker. Into Fitz. Come on, surely we can beat him. Cut outside, cut inside, hit the shot across the goalkeeper, and Baumann, yet again, what a performance. 2 games in a row from the goalkeepers. I guess we're relying on a 34-year-old Karaman. Can he get his head to it? He can, but Baumann is there yet again. Pretty poor header, really, in the end. Karaman on the ball. Can he work some magic? Well, it's a great pass to Fitz. And then we've got Becker making a run, but he was miles offside. Can we pull it back across? We can. Kaputska's there, and he's been taken out. Surely that's not even a foul. What? No last-minute drama. Surely Leno, great save with his armpit. And then Akpaguma gets it away. Karaman wins the header, but it's 0-0. A 3rd draw in a row, and are we wasting our chance to pull away in 7th place? It was a really tough game against Hoffenheim, to be fair, and they actually did 0 foul despite being a very aggressive side. Baumann won man of the match in the 0-0 draw, but he wasn't the man that impressed me the most. In fact, we're going to head over to search players, and we're going to try and add Anton Stach to our shortlist. He's a little bit higher rated probably than we'd want, but his value isn't too bad. So who knows, next season, if we have a lot of money, it could be him and Goretzka lining up in midfield. But before then, we still have another 7 matches to play. Sene Linen is another player that we have been interested in the past. He doesn't have too much acceleration, but his pace and height make him one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. If we can get past him, who knows, maybe we could go on to win our first match in quite a while. Romani goes for the finesse far post, but thankfully that is absolutely miles wide. Fitz does a little fake shot. We're just going to hit this. And it's a good save from Sigmund, and Bothheim nearly gets the rebound. Fitz again on the ball. He's our best player by far. Becker gets it out wide, and it's going to go over the head of Bothheim, but he volleys it in anyway. Bothheim adjusts so that his body can volley it over his own shoulder between his legs. That is absolutely unreal technique. Schmidt Playing through Njima, and that is the equaliser. Basically, straight away after we scored, we conceded. We used to do this all the time in the second division. Sambi gives it to Karaman, and they're putting everything on the line. It's like they don't want to get relegated. It's like that's how much this match means to them. What an interception that was from Lindelof just before half-time. And yet again, it's level, but I think we are a bit more dominant in this game. We're not doing too many passes, but we do have chance to try and get a winning goal. Akbaguma gets it out to Puchaz. Sambi's got it. We've got some space for Karaman, but the pass is awful. We're going to keep pushing though. Keep recycling the play. Keep trying to score that goal. Benez. And that's a great interception from Sambi. And we get it back to him off Botheim. Come on. Hit this across the goalkeeper and who knows what could happen. Oh, it's not really the best shot in the end. Fitz. He's got Sambi Lakanga again. Can he score this time? He can't even get it on target. What are we doing? I really thought that one was in, and so did Muric. Puchaz into De Witt. Big space. Let's just hit this. Oh, yes. That is such a good finish. The goalkeeper nowhere near it. I did think we needed something special to stop this run of draws, and hopefully that could be one of the most important goals of our season. Njima. Come on, let's not throw this away at the end. Good interception from Callas. Let's clear it. Botheim just flick it on. They doesn't even need to. Bremen look absolutely devastated, even though the match wasn't even that important for them. Pretty much sums up our season. So that was a great result, a good win to get, but we are still miles off 6th place. Combine that with the fact that we're playing Leipzig and Bayern Munich in our next 2 matches means that we're really at risk of dropping out of the 7th place position. But still, I think we have a chance against Leipzig this time. Maybe not so much Bayern Munich, but Leipzig, I think we could possibly get at least a draw. Sesko, out wide, gives it to Semi, cuts inside, and Puchaz, I think, ended up deflecting that out for a corner. Vermeer and Sesko, Leno, great save. Xavi Simons into Sesko, another good save from Leno. We are getting battered in this first 10 minutes. Akbaguma loses it, but I think Haidara there hits the post. Sesko into the box. Oh, this could be the goal. No, it's another great save from Leno. Vermeer and Semi, we've barely touched the ball so far. Haidara, and it's another good tip over the bar from Leno. What a performance he's having. Corner comes in. Yaziki gets it away. We've nearly survived half an hour. Baku, and that's Lukeba, and it's another great save from Leno. Every time we clear this ball, it just comes back, and here it comes again. Yaziki can't win the header. Puchaz can't win the rebound. Boni into Sesko, and Callas can clear it, but again, it just keeps coming back. Haidara spins his man, Vermeer and Boni. Good save from Leno. Can we get the second one? We can. I think he must have made at least 10 saves this half. Corner comes in, Puchaz gets it away, Gertruda's deflected. I don't really know what's going on there. I think Lukeba had the best chance of scoring, but somehow it's 0-0. And it's going to be 0-0 at half-time somehow too. I have no idea. They've had 12 shots. Their XG is over 3. And our goalkeeper is on a 10 out of 10 after just 45 minutes. Lindelof, De Witt. Oh, for the first time we can attack. It's a great ball from De Witt. And we got Fitz one-on-one. And the finish is there. How have we done this? That's our first shot of the match and it's gone in. They've had 13 now. And they couldn't breach Leno. What a performance. If we can hold on for this, it's going to be a classic. Oh, Callas, what have you done? You've given it straight to Boni. Can we get back in time? We could have done a slide tackle, but I think it would have been a penalty and the red card would have hurt us even more. Yeah, it's annoying, but we'll have to take the equaliser. Fitz, he's headed that the wrong way. Can Puchaz clear it? He can. Still more danger from Leipzig. Here's Sambi dribbling on the ball, cutting inside, cutting outside, but Seawold gets there. Sesko, one pass, and Boni is through again. I think we know what's about to happen. There it is. Leipzig take the deserved lead. Gusto has just joined Leipzig. He's cutting inside from the corner. He turns as Castillo Jr. and he finds the top corner. I think that's Lukeba. What a finish from the centre-back. Lindelof dives in, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a card. It's just going to be the end of the game. To be fair, we had one shot and scored it. They had 18, so they did deserve to beat us. The good news, though, is that Stuttgart have also lost, which means we are still in prime position. If we get anything from these last 5 games, we have such a good chance of the conference or potentially even Europa League depending on who wins the cup. We found out that the final of the Pokal is between two teams that are above us in the table, which means if we can win our games and finish in 7th place, I believe we're going to get the Conference League next season. But if we want to win all of our games, that means we're going to have to beat Bayern, Wolfsburg, Augsburg, Frankfurt and Paderborn. 2 of those are possible, 3 of them are unlikely, but I think the least likely of all is Bayern Munich, who we've got up first. Before we even kick off, we get some great news that Stuttgart have lost and Köln have drawn, which means that if we win, we have a 4-point gap. But you have to remember, we are playing Bayern Munich, so we're probably not going to win. Look how good that team is. Osimhen, Kulusevski, Diaby, Van Dijk at the back with Upamecano. Any player in their team would get into our first team, probably as our best player. So this is going to be so tough, but we do have a 1% chance of winning. And that's what we've got to hold on to and hope that we can get that result. Fitz into De Witt. Oh, we lost it to Palhinha. And they can counter-attack. We know that. So we need Sambi to be doing stuff like that. That's great defending. Botheim gets the ball beaten off him by Van Dijk. Akpoguma into Fitz. Oh, I think we could have been either through on goal or offside there. Ibrahimovic to Musiala. Osimhen's one-on-one with our keeper. What a block from Lindelof. Can we win the header? We can. We'll take that. Give them a corner. We don't want to concede early on. Yaziki into Botheim and we're away. He's onside. We're just going to play that across the Fitz. He wasn't tracked by Van Dijk or Kimmich. And we are 1-0 up. Out of absolutely nowhere. 1 counter-attack, 2 lucky passes. And the decision to pull it across rather than shoot was an absolutely inspired one from Botheim. I'm glad it's Kerkez and not Alphonso Davies out there. But he's still got the pace to beat our man. Can Akpoguma get past? He can't, but Callas is there. The intention was Callas would get sold in January, but he's stayed in the team, and what a player he's turned into. Can Lindelof get across to Osimhen? He can't. He's through one-on-one from a wide angle. That is an absolutely horrific shot. Akpoguma. We try and play it long down to Becker, and Becker gets the better of his man into the box. And the finish is there before half-time. We're 2-0 up against Bayern Munich. I have no idea how we've done this. We just have to defend and hold on. So, a 2-0 lead at half-time. I am so hyped because this could be the match that we finally beat one of the big German sides. All we've got to do now is hold on for 45 minutes. Musiala, there's a huge gap. Osimhen, oh, we can't get across to block it. It's only 7 minutes into the second half and they're back into the game. Elise, Palhinha tries to get out of his feet. Becker with a great slide tackle. And then Fitz somehow scrambles it clear. Here comes Di Lorenzo. He's got past Lindelof. No surprises there. Osimhen's in the box. He tries to pull it across and we take it off Ibrahimovic's foot. What a bit of defending. Berg gets it to Botheim. Have we got the pace to get away? They slide in and that slows us down so much. Surely we can hold on for 3 more minutes. Well, Osimhen, he's got a huge bit of space. Can Callas get across? He can't. And Musiala misses the ball. Sieb tries to play it through. They have messed it up so bad. Thank God. We're just waiting for the whistle. There it is. Oh, no, it's a free kick. We've got to hold on for 1 more minute. Come on, Becker. Back to Lindelof. And we've done it. We've got to win over Bayern Munich of all the teams. That is so difficult, but also so big for our season. So, with the Stuttgart defeat, that means that we now have a 4-point gap over 8th place. They're not going to get European football. We probably are. All we have to do is keep a little bit of form up. We have 4 matches, so they can still get 1 point per game more than us, and we have way better goal difference, so we would still get 7th place. But first up is Wolfsburg. Svanberg, and they've played through Janelt. He scored a good chip against us last time, and I thought he'd found the side net there, but just wide of Leno's post. Bit of build-up play then. Callas, oh, we've messed this up. Can Leno get there ahead of Matteo Joseph? He can't, but Callas is there to get the rebound. Thank God that wasn't a penalty. Buchaz cutting inside. We've got Sambi, we've got Botheim. Can we play it through to him? We can, and he gets the shot away. Somehow it's gone in. That was such a low XG chance. Looking away from the goal, across the defender and past the goalkeeper. His 11th goal of the season. It's not too bad to say how badly he started off this season. Diego Lopez, he's their danger man. Good palm there from Leno. Buchaz beating his man. His little trademark move, cuts inside again. Can we get the shot away? We can, but then it's saved with his foot, and Koza will keep it clear. Fitz beats his man, beats two men. Can he get this? He gets it off Chalaba, gets the shot away, and it's in the far post. This guy must have really good determination or aggression or something, because the amount of random tackles he wins when he absolutely shouldn't is off the charts. So that is 2 matches in a row now that we've gone in at halftime 2-0 up. And this one I feel a little bit more comfortable about because we are absolutely dominating them. Yaziki plays in Puchaz. Oh, he must have been so close to being onside there. Darwin Nunez into Lopez. Akpaguma with 2 amazing slide tackles. Gets it out to Fitz. Can we make something from this? No, it's a really bad pass. And this surely is the last action. There it is. 2-0 win confirmed. We gave some of our younger players a few minutes at the end of the match. But we fully deserved that win. That was so good. So, what's the table looking like? Well, we have a 5-point lead over FC Cologne, and we're playing against the least informed team in the league in FC Augsburg. With 3 games to go, if we win this, basically, we are confirmed in Europe. If we lose it, then maybe they can catch us, and if it's a draw, again, they will catch us by a few points, but not the end of the world. Let's just not lose this match. Let's hit this with Fitz, and it's a great save from Darman. We've scored a few bangers recently. We're trying to get one more there. Komor, and they've got Romsas through on goal. He is so tall, so fast, but not very good at finishing. Good save from Leno. Komor again. We need to look out for that Romsas guy. Claude Maurice, and then Romsas is there. Okay, he could finish that time, but this guy looks absolutely amazing. Maybe one for us to sign next season. Fitz trying to dribble it a little bit. Akpaguma from midfield. We play it to Yaziki. We scored quite a lot of goals like that last year, but we haven't really got one in the Bundesliga. Bothheim tried to turn, and it looked like it hit that guy's arm, but nothing given. Fitz into Becker. We've got Bothheim. It's a great pass, but Claude Maurice, the attacking midfielder, was tracking us that whole time. So that's it. We're going in behind at half-time. It's a huge team talk now for Miriam Muric to be giving. Can we intercept that? We can. Bothheim out of nowhere turns his man. Finish this. And he does. Bottom right. Good little finesse. We're picking that ball up. We want another. Bothheim gets on the ball again. What a ball that is to Fitz. Through 1-on-1. And there is the comeback. Just 2 chances in the second half. And we have bagged from both of them. Fitz and Bothheim. What a partnership. Claude Maurice. Romsas. That is so offside. But great goalkeeper from Leno. Becker. Oh, we've lost it to Komor. They've not really had any chances, but this is dangerous. Romsas, what a finish. He has absolutely rifled that top corner. One last attack maybe. No, they intercept it. And it's going to finish 2-2. A game we didn't want to lose, but a draw. Still not the best result for us. Well, to be fair, there was actually still a 5-point gap because Stuttgart and Hoffenheim both also drew and FC Cologne lost. If we draw this match, effectively, we're in Europe. If we win this match, we guarantee we're in Europe, and if we lose, then things could all come down to that last match of the season against Paderborn. I think, if anything, I'm more nervous for this game than I was the one against Bayern Munich. So let's see what was going to happen. Larson gives it to Dahoud. Into Uzun, back to Dahoud. Long shot, miles wide. It's been a pretty poor first half, really. Yaziki, though, he finds Sambi. No, he doesn't. Tiate gets there first, and Trapp clears it. Bit of space for Becker to run into. He beats his man. Is there anyone in the middle? Not really. And then he overruns it in the rain. But it's going to come back to Yaziki, who also overruns it in the rain. De Witt can't find Sambi. And that's half-time for one of the worst first halves I think we've played all season. Slow day at the office for Can Uzun, but probably for all of our team as well. De Witt on the ball. Sambi tries to get past Dahoud, but nearly loses it. Lindelof, though, does lose it to Skiri. Into Larson, and there's a huge bit of space. Dahoud, what a tackle that is from Callas again. He has been so good. De Witt, I love this signing. De Witt was such a good one, but Callas loses it to Dahoud. They've got a striker, it's Wahi. Top corner, outside of the box. How many goals like that have we conceded this season? Absolutely spectacular. Endrick. When did he join Frankfurt, man? Uzun gives it back to Endrick. Oh, in off the post. What a finish that was from Bobby Moore himself. Celebrates in style. Wants to shake our hands because he thinks we are done. Okay, maybe Endrick was right. There's not really time for that comeback. But look at this from Frankfurt. Oh my god. They're playing that warm-up game where you just chest it down and volley it. Gets to Endrick in the end. And you just can't stop them when they're in this kind of form. Paintsil gets around Becker. Larson. Okay, we win the ball. Can we clear it and finish it? We can't. Endrick nearly makes it 3-0. We do actually need goal difference, so that would have been a killer. We'll take the loss and just hope that results have gone our way elsewhere. So, looking at the table, not all of the results did go our way. FC Cologne have actually gone on to win, meaning they're just 2 points behind us with 1 game to go. Our goal difference is pretty good, and we're also playing the second worst team in the division, so I'm still not that worried about losing our position, but Fitz did get an injury in that match, and we do have a little bit of a history of choking games in career modes on this channel, so fingers crossed if we don't do it today, but if we do, it's still the best season we've ever had as a Schalke manager. Chipped up to Bothheim, but they win the header. Naj, though, gets the ball stolen off him by Karaman, making a rare first team start. What a ball that is from Sambi. And Yaziki, he doesn't score many, but he seems like he could be a big game player. I think that's his 2nd goal of the season, and what a finish it was. Oh yes, we needed that. An early settler in the 21st minute, and we're 1-0 up. De Witt, that's a great ball. Bothheim's 1-on-1. Finish this, please, Bothheim. Oh, he is missed by so much. That is disastrous. Goal kick comes up. Are we going to win this? Akpaguma wins it. I think that's going out for a throw. But someone stayed down. De Witt got landed on there, I think, by Akpaguma. Thank God this is the last game of the season, because if we were without De Witt and also Fitz, then who knows? I don't think we would have been in this position if we hadn't signed them. Berg, the young Austrian, gives it to Yaziki, the man that's been running this game as a playmaker. Maybe we were playing him in the wrong role because he finds Sambi, and that's the finish that we needed. Who cares about the injury? We're 2-0 up. Let's just hope that we can hold on and not choke a 2-0 lead. I'm feeling pretty confident because Paderborn don't really have anything up front. Gomez turns Akpaguma, but he wins it back. That's it. I think we've seen in the 2-0 lead at half-time. Oh my god. 45 minutes to go. We have shut down their striker. Can we hold on? Bothheim into Karaman. We can see the man to pull it across to, but what is his run? We pressed pass, but Yaziki went miles out wide. We cut inside. Can we finesse this far post? Oh my god. How have we rescued that? I thought we'd messed up so big when we pulled it across. But somehow Yaziki manages to finesse it past Bothheim, or through Bothheim's leg into the far corner. And that's his 3rd goal of the season. Bothheim can't win the header. Maybe something we could work on next season. But Karaman wins it and can't quite volley it past the goalkeeper. Yaziki, it's all us. We were going for the hat-trick with him there, I'll be honest. Yaziki, can he get round? He can. Can he get round one more and get that hat-trick? Finish it, man. Oh, he pulls it across. So, just seconds remaining now. The referee blows her whistle. We confirmed it. We have finished 7th. I'm not too sure which European competition this is actually going to be, but we did it. I cannot believe that this awful Schalke team have somehow finished that high up the table. We had such a better team back on FIFA 21 and got nowhere near it. And thanks to that Pokal final, we have confirmed next season is going to be special. It's been such a memorable season. Bothheim finishing 7th in the top scorers with 12 and 28, while Kai Havertz played every game and got 38 goals. What a season for him. And what a season for everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this season. We've got another one coming out very soon, probably in about a week's time. So subscribe if you want to see that. And I'll have some more traditional geography for content getting uploaded in the meantime. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.